Let me make sure that my headphones are correct. They are. Open up this. Howdy, howdy. Welcome, welcome. Don't need that zoomed in version of my face, though. Right about there. All right, I think that we are probably good to go. Howdy, howdy, everybody. Come on, why isn't TikTok connecting? Come on. There we go. WebSocket connected. Flat Earth Friday indeed. You're not a flat earther, are you?
Oh no, you're doing flat Earth? Oh boy.
Read the background.
I thought you were doing evidence for God, man.
Read the background.
I just hopped on. I saw you do it. When are you doing evidence for God again? I really want to talk
maybe Monday.
Monday?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. It'll probably end up being Monday because I did creationism yesterday. So.
Okay, I will hop back in Monday because I have like this whole fine tuning thing, and you're a physicist, so I think it'll be an awesome convo. But okay. Sounds
all
good.
Right.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Yep.
Did you end up pinging Syracuse University? About what? About what? Oh, I don't have straight hair. Look at this. Does this look like straight hair to you? Not straight hair. I mean, it's definitely not super curly. But, you know, it's definitely not straight. I treat it like it's straight, which is probably not the right move. Like, you know, I wash it and condition it, and yeah, relative to Ian, definitely. My cat is a menace. Don't you hate when the animal that you love is horrible? Isn't that the worst? Wavy. Yeah, sure, wavy might be right. Although I do get ringlets, so like, I don't know. Like, see? Look at all those ringlets. I don't know, is that wavy? I'm quiet. I shouldn't be quiet. Looks like my microphone is reading in the yellow, which is, guess was louder. Okay, well, hopefully this is better now. John was from USC? No, I think John was from Berkeley, wasn't he? Microphone seems good. Great. Yeah, Berkeley is a university in California. All right, we have our first guest.
Oh yeah,
Captain America. How's it going?
My man, it's blessed, man. I'm sorry for last time. I missed your request. It was a busy day, but it's still good to be on here, man.
I'm glad to hear it. Captain America, what shape do you think the Earth is?
So as a preset or to set my precedence, I gotta let you know I'm a huge fan, right? And I completely understand, or not completely, but like I relatively understand, you know, the nature of physics and some of the stuff that you talk about, right? I wanted to kind of approach this argument from a different angle.
Can you answer my question, please, though?
Sure. I'm gonna go flat. I'm on flat earth for right now.
I don't do devil's advocates. Sorry, bud. It's just not interesting when people don't argue for their own position. Nabil, how's it going?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
The Earth is a round globe shaped in the form of a sphere.
Okay, thanks for being here. Why'd I kick him? Because he was doing devil's advocate. Like he said, oh, I'm a flat earther for now. Like that's what you say when you don't actually believe it. And look, you're not going to be a huge fan. You're not going to love physics and know physics and also be a flat earther. It's just not the case. Is it valid that in general relativity, energy is not conserved and only increases or decreases? It doesn't only increase or only decrease. Energy is not really well defined globally in general relativity. I'm not going to let you yap. This isn't a platform for you to yap, Captain America. This isn't a yap platform. A yap farm, if you will. Oops. Yapped in America, indeed. You don't think the Earth is flat. You're not going to come up if you don't think the Earth is flat. Them's the rules. You think space-time is curved or flat? Space-time, I mean, space-time is curved. Like, that is the general relativistic model. Why'd you kick you? Because you don't think the Earth is flat. If you don't think the Earth is flat, don't join. We're looking for people who genuinely have different beliefs. If you don't, then this isn't the place. I mean, you can watch. Blitz, do you prove it's round? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I thought flat earthers only existed as a joke. No. No. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who think the Earth is flat. In fact, we have one of them in YouTube. Their name is JK. They say, Earth is flat, get over it. There does indeed seem to be less FLERFS every day, I agree, which is great. That's great news for us. Are you interested in doing a live about the illusion of free will? Not really. Who started this ideology? It was a man named, what was his first name? Something Robotham. Samuel Robotham. That was his name. He basically started the modern flat Earth movement in the 1880s. Anyway, y'all, remember to like the live. Remember to share. Remember to tap that screen if you're on TikTok. Like the live if you're on YouTube. Because the more people we get in here, the more likely we get somebody who wants to actually have a conversation about what they believe, and we can talk about them. We can talk, or rather, we can talk to them. So make sure to do that. Oh, Grimlock, thank you for the $10 for hope your morning is going well. Stay hydrated. Well, I will make sure to chug some water. One moment. Whatever happened to gas pressure? I don't know. I think he's still around. Have you ever considered it might be a cube? A cube is closer to reality than it being flat, to be honest. Thoughts on symmetry and consistency existing before matter and structure? Maybe. It's hard for me to make sense of that. Grift pressure just hides in comments. Oh, he does? I thought I saw him in some lives the other day. Girlfriend's dad is flat earther. He can't get over his visual perception. It's unfortunate, isn't it? I generally tend to think that most people are born basically with at least some degree of intelligence that's achievable. But I also don't know. I mean, like maybe it's just the case that there's like a degree of intelligence that's required in order to accept that the Earth is a globe. And like, I mean, you know, if intelligence is normally distributed, then maybe it's just not the case that everybody can. But I like to think that that's not the case. Oh. So okay, so I think that there's kind of two kinds of people who are flat earthers. There's those who just can't understand how a globe works, and then there's those who probably could but refuse to for conspiracy reasons. We have some super chats, and if we don't get any more guests in the next few minutes, I'll probably just switch topics. Miko Makapo, thank you for the £5. Seeing as staying in is the new going out. Here's a $5 of my going out money. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I appreciate that. And Tales of the Levant with the $10. Thank you, Tales. Do you know of a good resource that debunks the videos that claim to show the space station videos are faked? I often come across them, and it'd be great to link them to something debunking it. I definitely have seen videos that debunks those claims, but I don't have them offhand. There's two people on here that you could probably find them, three, I guess. So there's a guy who goes by the name of Hasselblad. There's a guy who goes by the name of Average Glober, and there's a guy who goes by the name of Globy McGlobeface. All three of these guys are generally a lot more familiar with like the debunking videos and stuff. And they may very well, Dave McKeegan also, maybe Sideman Dan. I'm not as familiar with them. They may very well know of like the videos offhand that debunk those things. Oh, we have another guest. We have Haywet. Didn't we talk yesterday, Haywet?
What's up? Yes, we did. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Haywet, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I'm a flat earther, you could say. I actually hate that term because I had an epiphany, or I was contemplating the universe, and I had an epiphany about 10 to 12 years ago, and I'm like, well, it's interesting. I had some ideas that can maybe challenge a globe theory, and I thought to myself, if I came out today and I said that the world was flat, people would literally think I was crazy. And I've put a lot of thought into this, probably hundreds or even thousands of hours. And I think what's fascinating is what led to this epiphany is the realization. Have you ever heard of Flatland? It's a theory.
It's a book. Like it's a book by, what's his name? Something Abbott, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
by Edwin Abbott.
What's really fascinating is I haven't read the book, but I basically watched summaries or TED Talks on that theory, and I thought it was very fascinating. Ultimately, we live in a three-dimensional world, and we navigate this three-dimensional world, but we see and perceive in two dimensions. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And so the Flatland theory is that a third-dimensional creature observes a two-dimensional plane, and the creatures living in the two-dimensional plane are navigating that two-dimensional plane, but they're seeing and perceiving in one dimension.
Look, so Haywet, I hate to cut it short, but like, what does this have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Great, I'm getting there.
Okay, land the plane then. Because like I've read the book.
Okay.
Like,
well,
it's
our audience might not, but okay. In that case, we'll just skip it. So I thought, okay, if I'm a three-dimensional, if I'm existing in a three-dimensional world, I see and perceive in two dimensions. The fourth dimensional plane would be, incomprehensible. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, what all other alternatives could we be on a sphere? Yes. Could we be on the inside of a sphere, and space is, a midpoint infinitely? Are we like on a Pac-Man board and it repeats infinitely? Long story short, ultimately I landed on the flat Earth theory, and I just thought it's really fascinating because.
Why do you think it's true?
I think that's the most plausible. I think that just makes the most sense.
Okay,
and
on what grounds?
I think what's really cool is you can't really challenge it, because the globe theory is based purely on on perception, right? You can't measure it. You can't wrap your arms around it.
I mean, so yeah, you can measure it. You can even take pictures of it, in fact.
Right, but through what a
camera.
convex lens that's meant to replicate a human eye, which is convex, which is like.
So if you take a picture
eye
of a plate, it will look different than taking a picture of a basketball, right?
Right, that's okay.
And so if you can take a picture of it and it looks like a basketball and not a plate, then you know that it's basketball shaped and not plate shaped.
Right, but all these pictures are composites of thousands of images.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Want to bet?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the 1972 blue marble?
Blue marble, that was
the 1972 blue marble.
Was that taken? I've heard of blue marble, but that's also a composite.
No, it's not. You're thinking of the 2001 blue marble, not the 1972 one.
Okay.
One sec. I don't know why it won't let me zoom out. Here we go. Let me show you. See that? Oops. I didn't mean to move that.
So are these from the Apollo missions?
Yep, this is from, I don't know, like Apollo 12 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into this, but you know that would suggest that we've actually been to the moon, and I'm a moon denier too. So.
Okay, well fortunately we have pictures from other orbiting satellites. Would you be interested in those?
Sure. I mean, sure, but.
Or are you a space denier in general?
Yeah, you could generally say that I'm a space denier.
I mean, so then like if I present you with evidence and you just say no, the evidence is fake, like what do you think that photo is a photo of? Where do you think it was? How do you think it was taken?
I think
because it's on film. It's not digital.
I think it would be a composite. I think it would be a fake image.
What did they composite it from? This was taken in 1972.
Right. I mean, there's you can get high atmospheric photos, and you can obviously composite images. They've been doing that since.
How did they get a high atmospheric photo that has the entirety of Africa in it, and Saudi Arabia and Antarctica? Right.
So I mean, I don't think an image released by the government would be empirical evidence of.
I mean, it is empirical evidence. Like it is an observation of the natural world, right?
Right, but as far as me and you can observe, right?
Fortunately, we can observe other pieces of data. We can use other pieces of data that give us measurements of the shape of the Earth.
Like what?
For example, we can look at flight times relative to between the north and the southern hemisphere, and we can show that they're the same if they're going from the same longitude to the same longitude.
Yeah, but you can apply that same theory to it being a flat disk as well.
If it's a flat disk, then the northern hemisphere isn't the same size as the southern hemisphere.
I guess I don't understand that premise, but
yeah. So see the background behind me, that thing up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
So see how the stuff in the middle is smaller than the stuff on the outside.
Stuff in the middle is smaller than the stuff on the outside.
On the outside, like the outside edge, everything like see how giant Africa is compared to like Greenland.
Okay.
That's corresponds to something called the Gleason map. Do you know what the Gleason map is?
No, I'm not familiar with the Gleason map, or at least I don't know that.
The Gleason map is like the standard flat Earth map.
Okay.
Let me pull up a high resolution version for you. Why isn't the control button working on my mouse? That's annoying.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of flat Earth theories. I don't prescribe to any specific one.
Here we go. Are you familiar with this map?
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Okay, so this is the Gleason map. It was put together in the 1870s or something like this. And the point is that if you're traveling so latitude is the one that goes north and south, longitude is the one that goes east and west, right?
Right.
So on this map, longitude goes around.
Right.
And so if you're at the same latitude, north and south, right? Say that you're at 30 degrees north versus 30 degrees south. That would be like here versus like here.
Okay.
Or it'd be like here versus here.
Putting the
those are the coordinates I use to describe this map. Yeah, the equator is like a ring that goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at the same latitude, north and south, and the same longitude, like say that you're in New York or Santiago, those are on the same longitude line, right? And they're also roughly at the same latitude, like roughly like 40 degrees north and south. Now, if you took a path, if you flew from New York to Tokyo, which is again roughly the same latitude, it's like 35 degrees north, and then at some other longitude, so that would be going around here, or you could go straight over depending on which flight path the plane takes. That is a shorter distance than doing the exact same flight to Australia, right?
Right.
And yet we have flights. There are flights that exist in the real world that you can buy tickets for. I can show you them right now. That show that it takes the exact same amount of time, or plus or minus 30 minutes, depending on the weather, of course, to go from Santiago, Argentina, or Santiago, Chile, to Sydney, as it does to go from New York to Tokyo. It doesn't work on a flat Earth, because on a flat Earth, the northern hemisphere, the northern bits north of the equator, are smaller than bits south of the equator. So distances south of the equator have to be bigger. On a globe, the northern hemisphere is the same as the southern hemisphere. And so we can just go look at two different flights. There's QF-28. This is a flight that takes us from Santiago to Sydney. Let me scoot this over. It leaves in, I guess it departs in like a few hours. Scheduled to go in a few hours. It runs every day. And the flight is going to take roughly 14 and a half hours to go from Santiago to Sydney. Now, if we go look at a nearly identical flight from JFK.
Now, is that the flight path they're taking too?
Yes. Okay. A nearly identical flight from JFK to Tokyo. Let me align this so then it looks more similar. See how it's nearly identical. It's not exactly the same, but it's nearly identical, just one in the north and one in the south. That flight takes only 14 hours. So they are the same duration, plus or minus 30 minutes, and yet one is supposed to be so much further than the other, because one's in the northern hemisphere and the other's in the southern hemisphere.
Right. That's also the Gleason map. I don't necessarily prescribe to that map. That is interesting though. I'll have to
look. So here's the trouble with the flat Earth map. Any flat Earth map that any shape that the Earth has that's flat, that has a distinction between the north and the southern between the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, will inevitably fail this test, right? Because those flights are essentially identical. The other issue is that you can't make a flat Earth map that has the same southern hemisphere as it does northern hemisphere without having gaps. Like there are other flat Earth maps. There are other projections that you can make of the Earth, of a globe Earth, by the way, that have gaps and do respect the symmetry of the Earth. Let me see if I can find a good one that I'm talking about. Here we go. Well, I mean, for example, the Mercator projection actually does a good example. The Mercator projection does respect the north-south, like it's the same north-south, or in the north as it is in the south. But in the Mercator projection, there's, like, you can't go west from Santiago to get to Sydney, right? And in the Mercator projection, Greenland is the size of Africa. So there is no flat Earth map that you can make that respects the north-south symmetry and also preserves the sizes of continents. So it's just not going to work, which says that the Earth isn't flat.
I'll have to investigate that. And generally speaking, we have such a warped and skewed view of the size of the continents. You know, our
I mean, maybe you do. I don't.
I guess flat globe map. I'm saying look up any globe map that's flat. All the sizes of those continents aren't
Do you know why that's the case?
Aren't right.
Do you know
So
why that's the
I was
case?
just saying we have a skewed view. Pardon me?
Do you know why it's the case that the continents always
Do
look
I
skewed
do I
on a
know
flat
why
map?
that's the case? Yes,
Yeah.
because they're to cut a sphere up and lay it flat. So it has to be warped
Right.
to fit.
So
flat.
what does that mean?
But, no,
what does that
I
mean
think
about the shape of the Earth?
I'll definitely look into that. One thing that I think. Pardon me.
What does that mean about the shape of the Earth if every time you
What are
try
you
to make a
asking me?
flat... Can you hear me? Is there a delay? Hello?
I'm sorry. You must have been lagging or me. Yes, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah, so
What
what
does
does
mean
it
for the
say?
shape of the Earth if?
What does it say about the shape of the Earth if every time you try to make a flat map of it, you have to distort it?
No, I'm saying if you take the globe model and try and make that flat, you have to distort a globe to make it flat.
Yeah, and
I'm
we
saying
can
if
go and... Right. So your question is, what is the actual shape of the continents? Well, we can just go look at like the size of various continents. Like we can look at how many square miles. Oh, he minimized. So surveying is the process of figuring out how big things are. And so you can compare how big things are relative to one another to how big things appear to be on a globe and how big things appear to be on any flat map. And you will find they always agree on a globe. And they never, well, not
Yeah,
never.
there's a really interesting website. I forget the name it's called, but it's like actual size of.
Yep. But if you do that on a globe, the sizes are exactly the same.
Right.
So what does it say? That nothing is distorted on a globe, but if you try to make a flat map, all of a sudden everything is distorted.
No, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not sure I'm ready to answer that or have put thought into that. All I was saying is when you the map that the world through the education system, the map of the world on a piece of paper where the globe is cut flat, where there's a western and eastern hemisphere, the United States is on the left, Asia and Europe and Africa on the right. It's just that projection is distorted. So all I was saying was,
in fact, every flat projection is distorted.
Okay, well, one thing I wanted to discuss, which is really fascinating, is discussing flight paths is circumnavigating the world. Flight paths don't fly over the North Pole or the South Pole. What is it?
Yeah, they absolutely do. So they often don't fly over the South Pole because the South Pole is really, really isolated. And so if you have to make an emergency landing, there wouldn't really be any place to do that. But yeah, planes fly over the North Pole quite frequently. Although it hasn't happened in the last 5 years, it's been less likely because flying over the North Pole often means flying over Russia. And not a lot of Western countries want to do that right now. But yeah, flying over the North Pole is fairly common. In fact,
okay, well,
I bet you I could find a flight that does that. I bet you I could find a flight that does that. Let's see if we can find one.
Parts of the Northern Pole or straight through the middle? Because
I mean, like the North Pole is a single point.
There's
but
many
like
flights where the shortest, most efficient direct flight would be straight over the North Pole, and there's.
Well, I mean, not exactly over the North Pole, but a lot of them would be.
Buenos Aires, Argentina to
Argentina.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a lot of so rarely will a flight take you, even like a direct flight will take you exactly over the North Pole, just because like what are the odds that you are like crossing over the inch where the North Pole is? But there are a lot of flights that'll take you very, very close.
That's what I'm interested in now. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can find some. So we would want a flight.
Haywood wants to know what's in the North Pole,
here,
and I would to completely abolish the flat Earth theory. All you have to do is fly over the South Pole.
So planes have done that, by the way.
Okay, but you can claim planes have done that, but literally,
so how else would I provide evidence for this? What else would you want to see?
Well, we could literally, me and you could hop on a commercial flight and from Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Sydney, Australia, and go over the South Pole, and that would completely.
So those flights don't go over the South Pole. they avoid
Okay, I'm
going
just
over
saying.
the Antarctic
I'm just saying,
continent.
if any commercial
Sure.
flight went over the South Pole, it would completely abolish the flat
Okay.
Earth theory. It would
I mean,
completely abolish it. But they don't.
That's fine. There's a do you know why they don't do that? Like, are you familiar with like why?
I'm not familiar what the excuse is for why they don't. But
So I mean,
But
essentially
all I'm saying is
flying
that
over
would
the.
prove
So
it
first of
completely.
all, look, let me explain. You want an explanation? I can give you an explanation.
Sure.
Roughly, weather conditions are really bad on the actual continent of Antarctica because it's a really, really cold desert that's really, really high altitude, so the wind speeds are extremely intense. Second, there are no possible places for an emergency stop, especially when you're deep over Antarctica. And, you know, flight paths, depending on what airline you're with, they have to be within a certain distance of a place where they could stop in the event of an emergency. And if you're over Antarctica, where are you going to stop, right? So why would they?
It's the same with transatlantic flights.
Why would no? There's islands. There's all sorts of islands, and transatlantic flights typically take you over Greenland, and Greenland does have airports.
Okay.
Like Antarctica is very, very big, and the Southern Ocean surrounding it is very, very big, and there's not really land there that you can land at. So it's just wildly unsafe. But what you can do is you can fly very, very close. You can fly very, very close. The flight that I was referring to, QF-28, flies very close to Antarctica, depending on, you know, the weather patterns and things like that. Sometimes, you know, they don't always take a direct flight, but they sometimes take a nearly direct flight. So yeah, I mean, there absolutely are flights that take you close. But you can go to Antarctica. Like, you don't.
I know, I've been.
Oh, you've been. So why
I've
do you think
been.
the Earth is flat?
Well, because you can't cross the poles. You can't. I took a.
You can go to the South Pole if you want.
Right, but you can't cross it. And no, you.
I don't know what you mean by you can't cross it. You can go to the South Pole.
You can go to the South Pole. I was in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Took a $500 tourist flight to Antarctica, and you pretty much plant your feet in the ice. And
I don't believe you that there's a $500 flight from Buenos Aires. By the way, I mean, like, if you actually want to like do a trek, because, you know, if you want to go to the South Pole, there are no airports.
This was
the South Pole.
like pardon me.
There are no airports. There are no, you know, what are they called? Airstrips next to the South Pole. So you have to land at the one. I think there's maybe 2 airstrips on Antarctica, private airstrips. You have to land at one of those, and then you have to go to the South Pole, right? Like you can't fly there. You can't fly to the South Pole. There's no place to land.
Listen. So one
by the
thing
way,
that I
for
wanted.
what it's worth, would you believe people if they said that they were in Antarctica and saw a 24-hour sun, if they had video of it?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Okay, well, it happened last winter. There was a whole bunch of flat earthers and a whole bunch of globe earthers who went to Antarctica together to witness a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Yeah, again, so one thing I want to discuss. Okay, my simple thing about the South Pole is, hey, if to completely abolish the theory, all you have to do is fly over the South Pole. I've never done it. You've never done it. You say it's been done, but until
so are you saying that that's the only way that you would ever be convinced that the Earth isn't flat?
Oh yeah, I would drop
No,
it
but
in a
is that
heartbeat.
the only thing that could convince you?
Probably.
That seems like a really, really, really high standard then, because like there's like 100 other ways that you can prove it.
No, I mean I don't. Yeah, you could drill through one point of the Earth.
I mean, like you can just measure the lengths. You can just measure the lengths of the shadows of sticks.
No, that's not. Again.
It's literally just trigonometry, and you can show that the Earth isn't flat by just doing trigonometry with the lengths of shadows.
Dr. Blitz, do you mind if I pivot a little bit from the poles? or the South Pole. I'd like to talk just briefly about the North Pole and what I think
Sure.
is fascinating about it. You know, if there's a large magnetic mountain at the North Pole, that would make compasses a compass really. You're already kind of laughing. You've obviously seen this model, but you know that's another thing that just always perplexed me was just
Does the mountain move?
No, no, it doesn't.
Well,
But
because the magnetic North Pole moves.
okay, so well, it might move. Who knows?
So the mountain is on wheels. It's it's driving across the ocean.
Maybe it's hovering. I'm not sure. But
if the Earth is flat and there's if the Earth is flat and there's a flying mountain, why can't we see it? By the way, you know that the magnetic North Pole was
you broke up a little bit. If the Earth is flat, what?
If the Earth is flat and there's a flying mountain, why can't we see it? I think your connection's really not doing great.
To the North Pole, you just every country has made an agreement that you cannot explore the North or the South Poles. You can literally
be in the you can literally be in the Arctic Circle.
In the Arctic Circle, you can't go to the polar north. You can't go.
Do you think that there's land there?
To the mid.
Do you think that there's land at the geographic North Pole?
I'm not sure what is there.
No, it's ocean. It's water. It's just water. It's water, and then there's like icebergs floating on it.
Well, you and I wouldn't know because
there's nowhere to go. We have photos of this and boats, and you can fly over it in a plane.
Oh, you've done this? I mean, this is the thing.
This is what most flights from Northern Europe to North America are, by the way. You fly through the Arctic. You fly directly over the
North Pole. They do not fly over the dead center of the North Pole. They don't. And zero commercial flights.
Why do you wait? Hold on. We've been over this. You don't have to fly over the dead center of the North Pole to be able to see that it's all water. Anyway, do you know where the magnetic North Pole was 100 years ago?
No, I'm not. But
it was in Canada.
If you let me
it was in Canada. That's where the magnetic North Pole was.
If you let me finish the thought, the magnetic North Pole.
We've been over this. You did finish the thought. The magnetic North Pole was in Canada 100 years ago.
No, Dr. Blitz, if you keep interrupting me when I'm just talking. So if you would let me finish, if the polarity of the North Pole, if it is in the dead center of the flat Earth map, it tracks, because if you circumvent the North Pole, the compass always points north. It always points directly towards the middle, and that model doesn't really make sense on a globe. If I'm in Buenos Aires,
it doesn't make sense on a flat Earth either, because
why not?
The magnetic North Pole moves.
I don't necessarily know what that means, but
let me show you.
Even if it supposedly moves, and that
here's a map.
Point.
This is a map of the location of the magnetic North Pole over time. So as of 2017, the dot in the middle that's the geographic North Pole. That's what you're thinking of as like the true North Pole, right? But where compasses point, that are those red circles. They're moving closer to, actually, I think it's swinging around now. This is a little bit out of date. I think it's swinging around to the other side. But as of 2017, it was, outside of the geographic North Pole. And as long as, 100 years ago, it was in Canada. The geographic North Pole is not, in a place that's fixed. It moves year over year. And you can just measure this by basically just going up north, like being in Greenland or being in northern Canada or being in Svalbard or something like this, and then just measuring the angle, stay in a fixed place, and then measure the angle that your magnet makes. And it'll change year over year.
Interesting.
And if it was at the center of the flat Earth map, then how is the center moving? What would that even mean? The center is the center. It can't move.
Well, you could apply that same logic to a globe. How is it moving? I don't. This is
the reason why it's moving is So if you think that it's because of a mountain, then I guess the mountain has to fly. On the globe map, it's just because the Earth's magnetic field is not a static thing. It is created by a dynamic flow of basically molten iron near the core of the Earth. And as that molten iron changes the way it flows, the shape and the orientation of the magnetic field will change accordingly.
Okay.
But like, it doesn't make any sense on a flat Earth. I don't know, like, why we would be why it's reasonable to believe that there's a floating mountain.
Okay. Well,
also, by the way, there's
floating mountain. What if you apply the same logic of the polarity of the polarity of the North Pole and just put it on a flat Earth map? What I'm saying makes sense is as you circumnavigate the Earth, as you circumnavigate that center point, the compass will always point directly towards the center or the North Pole. And what I'm saying,
it doesn't. It moves. The place where it points moves.
Okay. You're saying the point moves. What I'm saying is it constantly points to that polarity.
Right, and that's not the center.
Okay, then you could say there's no true north. I mean, what are you saying? What I'm saying is, regardless of what the polarity of the North Pole is, we agree that all compasses point to it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
They point to the magnetic North Pole.
Point
or
to
technically, they point to the magnetic South Pole, but that's neither here nor there. It's the same direction.
Okay, so it's pointing to that midpoint, whatever that is. So if you imagine the Earth
dot
is
between
flat,
Canada and Russia.
Okay, if you imagine the Earth is flat like a plate, and let's just say for the sake of argument, at the time being, it's direct center in the center of the plate, or a little to the left, wherever, but it's there. And as you on that flat plane, as you circumnavigate that point, the compass will always point directly towards that midpoint, right? And that just kind of logically makes sense. But as you apply that to the sphere model and you wrap that plate around a basketball, and it turns into a sphere. So now if I'm up right in Canada, okay, it's pointing to that northern point. As I start going further south into the southern hemisphere, it just kind of just doesn't make sense that I'm literally upside down under the Earth.
The magnetic fields curve around the Earth.
Okay, so you're saying just the magnetic field curves around the Earth.
Yeah, it's a dipole. That's the shape of a dipole field. At least it's approximately a dipole. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but
okay.
I mean, that's just what a dipole magnetic field looks like.
Hey, I think in a nutshell, to shut the whole flat Earth thing down, all you got to do is circumnavigate the world over the South Pole. What I want to know, Dr. Blitz, is what are they hiding in the South Pole? What are they hiding
There are
in the North
scientists
Pole?
that work there.
Well, then why can't you explore it? Why? No, you cannot.
Sure, you
no,
can.
you cannot. You will get shot
Sure, you can.
down.
Okay, prove it.
Okay, prove it that that teenager who recently flew to the North Pole got intercepted by fighter jets.
Okay, what's the name? Let's look at the case.
I'm not sure his name. You could
Unfortunately, I know exactly who you're talking about. This wasn't the North Pole. This was the South Pole, and he didn't get intercepted by fighter jets. He got radioed by. You did say the North Pole. It's okay if you misspeak. Okay. Teenager asked to land in Antarctica. So his name was Ethan Guo. That was his name. I can. Here we go. Okay, let me show you. So here we have an article. We're not going to watch the video, but so an American social media influencer has been stuck in a Chilean airbase in Antarctica for 2 months after landing a plane there without permission, was released Saturday back to the mainland where he has to pay $30,000 in penalties. He began his fundraising mission for cancer research, was attempting to become the youngest person to fly solo to all 7 continents, but he was detained. I don't know if you can see this. He was detained after Chilean authorities said he lied to officials by providing authorities with false flight plan data. Prosecutors said he had been authorized to only fly over Punta Arenas in southern Chile, but that he kept going south, heading for Antarctica in his Cessna 182Q, a single-engine light aircraft known for its versatility. After he landed in Chile's Antarctic territory on June 28th, he was detained in a military base amid legal negotiations between his lawyers and the government. Guo, who was originally from blah, 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 spent 2 months living in the base with limited communications and freezing Antarctic winter temperatures, plunging below zero. He was released because, and so on. So why was he detained? He was detained because he provided false flight plan data. He lied to the government.
Yeah, and
he wasn't by the way, he wasn't intercepted with fighter jets. He was asked to land, and then he landed.
Are you suggesting to me that if I have a personal aircraft, I can apply for a flight plan over the South Pole? I can choose to fly over the South Pole?
Yeah.
That's genuinely what you believe?
Unless you have any evidence to the contrary.
Okay, and so that would surprise you? That would shock you?
That you can't fly?
Right.
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty surprising.
Well, I think perhaps maybe we should both look into that a little bit more.
So wait, you made the claim. Do you have like evidence to support that claim?
No, I'm just curious if it would shock you.
Yeah, it would shock me because, for example, if you were an Irish national, there are no international treaties. There are no laws governing well, maybe they might have local laws. I don't know, but there are no international treaties that say anything about Irish nationals doing anything in Antarctica. Irish nationals are not. They're not bound by the Antarctic Treaty. They're not bound by any of that, for example. So it'd be very shocking if, because who would have the authority to do that? On whose jurisdiction would you be in?
Well,
by the way, this is a thing that people have done. There have been flights over Antarctica, over the pole. So that's why I'd be a little bit shocked if you said that it's impossible to do it.
Right, not in modern history. I mean, you're familiar with
10 years ago, maybe.
Are you familiar with Commander Byrd and flight over the Arctics?
There was one 10 years ago.
Are you familiar with Commander Byrd and the flight over the Arctics?
Did he fly? Didn't he land somewhere? Wasn't he like a land expedition or something?
Yeah, he was an air expeditionist, I believe, and he wrote multiple books about this, but he claims that he flew over the Antarctics and it's an Arctic ice wall. And
wait, are you sure that he wrote books, or was it his son that wrote books?
I believe it's him.
I think that you're mistaken then. So because Admiral Byrd's, there's a famous thing. I think that there's only one thing that's attributed to Admiral Byrd, like a book anyway, and it was written by his son. It was written by his son anyway. But we can just look this up if you want. Bibliography. Here we go. No, we don't want bibliography. We want. I mean, I guess we could just Google, did Admiral Byrd actually write any books? I don't think he did. I think his son wrote a book about his father's thing.
Okay, possibly. Regardless, his father's.
But anyway, there have been flights like
documents land beyond the Arctic, which is pretty fascinating.
There have been flights called the TAG Transpolar 08. This was in 2009, and they did a complete circumnavigation north-south. This is this was a thing. There was another flight in 2019 called the One More Orbit a One More Orbit flight on a Gulfstream G650ER aircraft that did another polar circumnavigation, meaning that they flew north-south all the way around.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that was 6 years ago.
So if you take Admiral Byrd's account into any sort of plausibility, it claims that there's lands.
Well, wait a minute. Which account? The account of the one found in the book written by his son?
Sure.
Because that's not believable. Now, if you look at his journal, the journal that he wrote, then there's some things in there that are potentially plausible. But the journal is not really that contentious.
Well, that's like me saying the Diary of Anne Frank isn't
The Diary of Anne Frank was like actually written by Anne Frank,
published by her father.
Yeah. The son wrote a book based off of what we don't know, but the book is not a publication of his journal.
Well, you're assuming that.
No, it's just not. It's not like his journal published. It's not like he just took the journal and then just published it. It was like, it's like written prose.
That's an assumption. Okay. And
No, that's just what's in the book.
Let's not operate.
That's just what's in the book
right now. Okay. Regardless, that doesn't make it a non. Oh, yeah, that might diminish its credibility as a source, but regardless, it's still a source. And what I'm saying is, this
it's
was
still
a
a source from
frustrating.
somebody who was never there.
Okay.
Like, right, the person who wrote the book was never there.
Okay, well, you and I have not read the book, so I don't think we can commentate on it, because I don't think either of us are subject experts. So let's just set that to the side for sake of argument. If you take what's presented there, okay, and that if the Arctic is indeed an ice wall, and
in the journal or in the book, which one?
Journals, books, regardless, if you take the idea that the Arctic is an ice wall, Commander Bird's side, okay.
We didn't. Where's the evidence that this is what he saw?
Listen, why won't you let me finish a thought? It's so frustrating.
Because you just lied to me.
What do you mean I just lied to you?
You said Commander Bird saw an ice wall.
Yes.
That's a lie.
How is it a lie? He describes the Antarctic
Have you read it?
as a barrier plane. No.
Have you read the book?
I've already told you I haven't read the book.
Okay, so then how do you know that that's what he writes?
Okay. Well then, what does your Google search tell you that he wrote?
We could so. What do you want me to Google? I can Google whatever you want.
Regardless, let's just call it a theory. Let's call it a theory. Like
A shower thought, perhaps.
You will not like let anyone get to a point. It's like, it's crazy.
If the point you're trying to make is founded on like just something made up, why would I let the point get off the ground when the basis is not true?
Because it's abstract thought. Okay, it's a thought. It's a thought experiment. Okay?
So you're aware that Antarctica has beaches, right?
No, I'm not aware of that. I'm not intimately.
I thought you landed at one. Didn't you
Dude,
land at one?
It's like a boat plane, and you step on an iceberg. Like, it's a tourist trap.
Okay, so you didn't go. Okay, so there are beaches in Antarctica. We have photos of them.
On the continent, what would be considered the continent of Australia, so I could
Antarctica.
check it off my bucket list on some freaking tourist.
Right. So there are
And I saw
beaches.
Penguin.
There are beaches in Antarctica, and they hang out. And like, I can just show you pictures if you want. For example. Okay, here we go. What's that?
I don't know why.
It's Antarctica.
Why are you doing this? Okay.
They're beaches. It's not an ice wall.
Okay. Well, there's mountainous ranges in Antarctica. Okay. There's
and
island
beaches.
and mountainous ranges.
So it can't just be one big ice wall, because there's beaches, and beaches are not walls.
Okay.
Right.
So. Okay. All right. So you're telling me there's no part in the whole Arctic is all mountainous ranges that's covered in snow, or is there sections of Antarctica that are all ice?
So most of Antarctica is covered in ice in the interior. Around the edges there are beaches, but there are also places where there are ice shelves. So the image that you're probably thinking of is the Ross Ice Shelf, right? This is probably what you're thinking of. Probably
Again,
thinking
you're so sidetracked over literally a word. Like you don't listen to someone to understand them. You listen to
Is this
them
what you're thinking
so
of?
Yes.
That's
but
the
listen,
Ross Ice Shelf. That's a very specific part of Antarctica.
Dr.
Which
Blitz,
is a stunning
would you mind like stopping?
geography.
Would you mind stopping for a second?
Go ahead.
It's I just need to be honest with you. It's so frustrating to try and have a conversation with you because you do not listen to understand. You listen to combat. You zone in on one word I say or one thing I say, and you don't let me finish a thought. And even if I do finish a thought, you don't address the overall objective of the thought. You try and tear it down from the beginning. So my criticism to you is you're not open to having a discussion or a debate because you do not listen to understand. You listen to combat, and it's very frustrating.
I mean, look, if you're going to start a point with something that is like demonstrably false, what's the point of getting to the point if the premise is demonstrably false? Explain that to me.
Because you don't have to beat that to death. You can have a conversation and go throughout a thought experiment and just move past that so we can get a little further down the road, because not once in our entire conversation have I got to the root of my debate. Not once, because we've been sidetracked.
What is the root of is the root of your debate that if there's an ice wall, then we couldn't go there?
No, I mean, again, like it's not even worth opening up all these can of worms. It's just frustrating, and that's just my criticism to you.
I agree, it is frustrating. Like I've presented you with several pieces of evidence, and you're just like, huh, I haven't thought about that. And then you go on to be like, but what if the Earth is flat and the globe doesn't make sense? I'm giving you the evidence. Can you give me the evidence that the Earth is flat?
And you see how that's a courtesy. I listen to you, and I say, oh, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that. And so if I say something, you want to just combat it rather than just be like, okay, hold on, let me just hear what else he has to say. Yes, you can think that's ridiculous, but
look, and we if you want to focus on the meta, we can. But the point is the reason why you end up saying, yeah, I'll look into that, is because you haven't looked into this. The reason why I'm not looking into the thing that you're bringing up is because I have looked into it. I know it's nonsense, and I know why it's nonsense. Like, by the way, here's a map of Antarctica. You've seen the picture of the Ross Ice Shelf. The Ross Ice Shelf is here. There's a whole remainder of it. There's also the Ron Ice Shelf. There's a whole entire remainder of a continent. And when you see the pictures of the ice wall, you're only seeing this bit. The rest of it is not like that. But you haven't seen this before. Because if you had, you wouldn't have thought that the entire continent was ice wall.
I didn't even say that. I never even said the entire continent is all ice wall. You're projecting that.
Should we go back into the
all I said was
call?
I was like, according to Bird, there was an ice wall, and you're like, according to Bird or Bird's son, who wasn't even there, who this and that. Oh, ice wall. Oh, it's actually not an ice wall. It's actually do you know there's beaches there? It's like, dude, what I'm saying is the concept that we're talking about is not allowing to circumnavigate via going over the South Pole. You claim that you can, and where we say, hey, what's really interesting, see if you can apply for a civilian permit to do so. I would be very surprised if you could, and you said that you'd be very shocked if you couldn't. Well, I think that's an interesting place to talk. And what I'm saying is interesting is, according to Bird or the Bird resource or whatever you want to claim, is the Arctic is some sort of a ice barrier that might be a combination of shelves and mountainous and glacial regions, whatever you want to say, and that his claim is that there's oceans beyond and lands beyond, and we can go into a whole other argument. But what's really fascinating is
do you want to talk about that, or are you just going to talk about something else now?
Well, I'm gonna apply that to if that is true, obviously that negates the Gleason flat Earth map that you refer to, and with the hemispherical contradictions and stuff like that, and that opens up the globe to a larger globe, right? So what's really interesting is if that theory, and you might have seen this. Have you seen where they take the image of the moon and apply it as like a reflection of the Earth, and you can kind of arrange.
Yeah, I have a video on this. I have a video on this. I've made a video about that specifically. Yeah, it doesn't look at all like the Earth. Like, it's missing Australia, for example.
It's interesting.
It's not at all interesting. If you invert it and then distort it, you can make it sort of look like Europe and Africa, and then like a bit of Asia, and then like you're missing Australia, and then like like South America and North America like aren't in the right place or the right shape. Like, yeah, if you distort an image of the moon, you can make it look like the Earth. Sure. By the way, I have a map of the of Bird's Antarctic expedition.
Check it out.
So, by the way, actually, before I show you this, how do you know what Bird said again? Did you read? You didn't read his book?
No, I haven't.
So where'd you hear what he said?
From just some interesting clips, like. So synopsis, just like if I would
like on TikTok or something.
If I was to come across your TikTok and hear what you're saying about the globe, same thing.
Okay,
just
so
excerpts. I already told you I'm not an expert on the subject. I told you I haven't read the book. I told you I haven't read a damn thing.
So right. So here's.
I just think it's fascinating.
So in the yellow, I think it's in the yellow here.
Now this is what, a hand documented map.
This is just like an artistic rendition. But the point is he stayed in one side of the Earth, one side of Antarctica, and so when he got to the pole, or when he was wandering around, and he said there was an area the size of North America, I think is what he said, or an area the size of the continental United States on the other side of the pole. That's referring to this land, like the rest of the pole that he didn't explore. That's not land beyond Antarctica. That's just the rest of Antarctica that he didn't see.
So all of a sudden you are a subject expert on
I've looked into this. I haven't read the entirety of the book. I haven't read the entirety of the journal, but I've read excerpts of the journal. I've read excerpts of the book because I don't own either copy, so you can't get the entire thing for free. And so when he says, in fact, you can even, let me see if I can pull up a map of what I'm talking about. One sec. One sec, because there's a really good, yeah, this is what I wanted. Here we go. So Admiral Byrd, we have a quote from him. Admiral Byrd, there is left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being, and that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Little America. So here's Little America. Oh, here's Little America. Here's the South Pole. There's an area as big as the United States is beyond the pole on the other side of Little America. Like, this is not, there's nothing so surprising here.
Yeah, no.
There's no extra land. It's just the rest of Antarctica.
Pick up what you're putting down. Pick up what you're putting down.
So, like, why would we think that this means that there's like an ice wall or there's like a barrier?
I couldn't. Like I said, I couldn't speak to that. And again, I'm not claiming to be a subject expert on what he's claiming. I haven't read the book, so. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. And the point is, it's as you further challenge the idea, it expands, right? So if you limit flat Earth to the Gleason map that you referred to earlier, okay, well you can break that down. But as you expand the theory, the possibilities expand, right? So like if you once you can challenge it further, right? And all I'm saying is it's just very fascinating because the rules and the metrics and the arguments that claim that it's a sphere, well, it can very easily get broken down and completely disappear if you can simply circumnavigate.
Well, look, so there was a guy or a team that did it in 2019.
I'd be interested to look into that, but I think where we go from here is, hey, if you're interested, I think you should research whether a civilian can apply for a permit to fly over the South Pole.
You don't even need to apply for a permit if you're an Irish national, by the way. Well, I mean, aside from the usual permits that you need in order to leave Ireland.
But other a U.S. citizen does because of the Antarctic.
So the Antarctic Treaty only binds those countries that signed the Antarctic Treaty. Mexico didn't sign, Ireland didn't sign, a lot of countries in Southeast Asia and Africa didn't sign. Only 50-something countries signed it, and there's like 200 countries on Earth. So most countries didn't.
I'm not a subject expert on that. Do you know what the treaty is about or why?
So the treaty basically says that people who are I mean, it's fairly short. We can pull it up. But essentially, there are a few stipulations in it. One, you can't have military there, or you can't have like weapons and stuff there. You can't. You know what? Do you want me to just pull it up?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay.
It's very fascinating. You know, I don't know much about it, but I know that in World War II, that the Nazis were doing a bunch of polar expeditions to the South Pole.
I don't actually know if that's true.
Of course, I don't know if any of this that's true. You know, there's a lot of ancient history that's just skewed or lost.
Okay, so they did conduct one real expedition in 1938 and 1939. This is before World War II, to scout for whaling stations and potential naval bases. But yeah, that was the expedition that they did. So we'll pull up the Antarctic Treaty.
All right, check it out.
Here we go. This is the official Antarctic Treaty website. This is the Secretariat of the Antarctic Treaty. So these are the important provisions, right? Antarctica shall be used for peaceful purposes only. Freedom of scientific investigation in Antarctica and cooperation toward that end shall continue. Scientific observations and results from Antarctica shall be exchanged and made freely available. There were 7 countries with territorial claims that were overlapping. No acts or activities taking place while the present treaty is in force shall constitute a basis for asserting, supporting, or denying a claim to territorial sovereignty in Antarctica or create any rights of sovereignty in Antarctica. No new claim or enlargement of an existing claim to territorial sovereignty in Antarctica shall be asserted while the present treaty is in force, which it is in force. We can look up the actual original, or maybe we want the searchable version. Here we go. It's like 6 pages long. By the way, so we can just scroll through really quick. So these are the original signing, authors or something like this. Not like there are other countries that have signed on, but these are like the original authors. So the first article is about peaceful purposes. Any measure of a military nature, such as the establishment of military bases and fortifications, the carrying out of military maneuvers, as well as the testing of any type of weapons, are prohibited. So you can't do military stuff in Antarctica. The present treaty shall not prevent the use of military personnel or equipment for scientific research or for any other peaceful purpose. Freedom of scientific investigation is Article 2. Article 3 is let's check out
Article 2.
Yeah, it's just freedom of scientific investigation in Antarctica and cooperation toward that end, as applied during the International Geophysical Year, shall continue subject to the provisions of the present treaty. Now there's Article 3, which is about promoting international cooperation. You have to exchange your information when you're like doing science there. Article 4, nothing contained in the present treaty shall be interpreted as a renunciation by any contracting. This is basically saying that, you know, these countries, they do have their sovereign claims. And so like the people who are signing aren't renouncing their sovereignty, right? No acts or activities taking place while the present treaty is in force shall constitute a basis for asserting, supporting, or denying a claim to territory. We already read this part. Any nuclear explosions in Antarctica and the disposal thereof radioactive waste material shall be prohibited, so you can't do nuclear stuff there. In the event of conclusion of international agreements concerning the use of nuclear energy, including nuclear explosions and blah, 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 The rules is like everything will follow under the Article 9. Nothing particularly interesting there. The provisions of the present treaty shall apply to the area south of 60 degrees south latitude, including all ice shelves. And this is just saying what counts as Antarctica.
There's not ice shelves in Antarctica.
There's literally the Ross ice shelf and the Ron ice shelf. Okay. Article 7 is in order to promote the objectives and ensure the observance of the provisions of the present treaty, each contracting party whose representatives are entitled to participate in the meetings referred to in Article 9 of the treaty shall have the right to designate observers to carry out any inspection provided for by the present article. So if there's a question of like somebody violating the treaty, like some organization violating the treaty, then the party members, contracting parties, can send observers to like observe over like the investigation or whatever, so that no one country is ruling the investigations. Each observer, this is just all about observers for these investigations. All areas of Antarctica, including all stations, installations, and equipment within those areas, and all ships and aircraft at points of discharging or embarking cargoes or personnel in Antarctica, shall be open at all times to inspections by any observers designated in accordance with paragraph 1 of this article. So like if you're a signatory of this treaty, then all of your ships and aircraft, so like all those things, those are open to inspection. And aerial observation may be carried out at any time over any or all areas of Antarctica by any of the contracting parties having the right to designate observers. So in fact, the United States, any of these countries, they can do aerial stuff if they want. Each contracting party shall, at the time when the present treaty enters into force, inform the other contracting parties, and thereafter shall give them notice in advance. All expeditions to and within Antarctica. So this is about the contracting parties. So all expeditions should notify everybody in the treaty. All stations in Antarctica occupied by its nationals, any military personnel or equipment, all of this stuff you have to notify the other members of the contracting parties for when you're doing any of these things, if you're a contracting party. Article 8. This is about jurisdiction. So nationals of a country are under the jurisdiction of the contracting party. So if they break a law, then they are subject to the jurisdiction of the country that they belong to. Article 9, this is about the meetings that were mentioned earlier. Representatives of the contracting parties named in the preamble present shall meet at the city of Canberra within 2 months after the date of entry into the force of treaty, and thereafter at suitable interests for the purpose of it. So basically there's a scheduled meeting every 6 months or every certain amount of time, just to talk about, make sure that everything's up and up. Each contracting party has become this is again about contracting parties. Reports from the observers, that's about the observers. Nothing here. Each of the contracting parties undertake to exert appropriate efforts consistent with the Charter of the United Nations to the end that no one engages in any activity in Antarctica contrary to the principles or purposes of the present treaty. So what that means is that the contracting parties are obliged to, if like some non-signatory country tries to do military stuff in Antarctica, the contracting parties are obliged to try to stop them from doing that, because that goes against the principles and purposes of the treaty. And then if there's disputes, then you can consult among themselves. That's fine. Article 12, it may be modified or amended at any time by unanimous agreement. This is all standard legal stuff. It should be subject to ratification by the signatory states. It should be open for a session by any state, so this is how other states can sign it. The present treaty done in a whole bunch of languages, transmit, blah, 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 blah. So in particular, the only thing in this treaty that has anything to do with anybody who didn't sign the treaty is Article 10. And all that says is that if somebody who didn't sign the treaty is trying to, go against the principles or purposes of that treaty, then the members that did sign the treaty are obliged to try to stop that action. So imagine like if, I don't know, like Egypt tried to put nuclear weapons in Antarctica, then the signatories of the treaty would try to stop that, because that goes against the principles or purposes of the present treaty. But nowhere in the present treaty does it say that parties not member of the treaty can't fly over it. Nowhere does it say that they can have military intervene. That's not in the treaty at all.
So what I need to do is I need to find myself an Irishman who wants to fly over the South Pole with me. And you can just get permission from the U.S. government. Like, you can do that. Oh. Well, you want to go with me?
No, I'm good.
Why not?
Because
it'd be fun.
It'd be a waste of time.
Dude, imagine
very expensive.
Imagine the conversations we would have on
Look, man, if you're paying and you'll subsidize my entire trip, like, pay me a stipend and stuff, then maybe. Actually, no, I'd probably just get murked. But look, the point is you could have just read this. This is freely available. I'd probably get murked. This is freely available. I don't know why you didn't look at this.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that either. That's crazy.
All right. Well, hey, wait, you've been on for a good while. I'm going to let you go.
Yeah,
but
man.
You have a lot to learn.
Yep.
Have a good one. All right, let's bring on another guest. Oh, we have some super chats to read, and then we'll bring on another guest. So we have $3 from Gretchen. You forgot the third kind of FLERFs, the grifters. Yeah, I did. Garba Gaiman with the 5 Canuck bucks. I wish you could make an AI video to show what it would look like if the sun just went away really far. You would see it shrink into a star. Yeah. I think, what's his name? Level Devil has done that. Jack Fetter with the $5. Hundreds of thousands of scientists have put a lot of thought into it, and Cletus has come along and brain farts an epiphany. Sweet. Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing, right? Casey with the $10. Thank you so much, Casey. The earth is flat because God told me so. Checkmate, Doc. True. Icy Spin with the $2. I thought the fake engineer settled flat earth. Yeah, right? Eric with the $5. Anyone with the resources to give me the evidence I demand is automatically untrustworthy. Is a classic thought-terminating cliche from FLERFS. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's exactly what was happening there. Icy Spin with the $2 again. Hakeem is too shy, but he's a big fan of your work. Hakeem, if you want to join the guest box, you're welcome to. Glitter Lock with the $5. Tell us about the jacket, please. Oh, I got this jacket in London, I think. Just a jacket. Boogie the Cat with the $2. Gleason map is the #1 map made by a 1950 comedian. I think it's older than that, isn't it? We have $2 from Dexter. I want to ride on Magnetic Mountain. Yeah, that'd be fun, right? Cheers to the flying mountain mic drop with the from Wiz Nilly. Thank you. Duke of Shaska with the €2. Polar bears are a hoax. Wake up, sheeple, right? They live on icebergs. They drink Coca-Cola. Duke again with the €2. My uncle works at a zoo. They paint bears white. True. Polar bears are just white grizzly bears. Meowth with the 7 Canuck bucks. I'd love your opinion on the FOMO and the insults flat earth people use to try to convert normal people to their views. Oh, I mean, it's just cult behavior, right? Like, that's all it is. Timo with the €250. Wait until he finds out about gyro compasses. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Duke with the €2 again. Also, bears without fur look terrifying. Look it up. Oh God, that's awful. Just so you guys have to see the horrible thing that I saw. That's awful. Tim Bimbadil with the $5. All this crying about flying over the poles, then just fly to the edge of the flat earth and end the debate then. Yeah, right? Ensifrium with the $5. It's ironically really obvious that we came from apes, because these incapable animals love showing off their shit-throwing skills honed by generations. Come on. Dirty with the two pounds. I believe that there is old civilizations in Anta. What? Meowth with the 280. Canuck bucks. Thank you. Eric with the $5. I won't believe it's possible to fly over the South Pole unless I'm personally in the plane, but you should believe this guy's son's book. Yeah, that's look, the standard of evidence is just not symmetrical. Gitstan with the $5. People like the color are extremely difficult to deal with. They don't understand extrapolation given data, they don't understand life inference, etc. Unfortunately, that is true. Yeah. Look, and that's what I was saying. Like, there is a level of like inference, like ability to make inferences that is required in order to be able to, like, if you don't believe the photos, which, you know, maybe you don't, there's a certain degree of inference that you have to be able to make. Chris with the $5 sent my last one with no message. Bird was about hollow earth, not flat earth. He claimed to enter a hole that went into the earth in the north. I actually think that was his son that made that claim. Sandman with the 280. Canuck bucks. Chat, making fun of stuttering is mega shitty. Yes, it is. If you're doing that, get out of my live. Okay. Cushy with the 2 pounds. Caller thought Game of Thrones was a documentary. Look, it was. Visible Otters with the 2 pounds. Premise 1, wow. Premise 2, boo-hoo. Yeah, I should. That's a good point. Sandman with the 7 Canuck bucks. Holy shit, chat. Make fun of his arguments. Don't make fun of his stuttering POS. Yeah, please. Don't do that shit, okay? Not welcome. Dr. Fudge with the $10. Thank you, Dr. Fudge. I appreciate that. Caller might be referring to the secret lost diary of Admiral Richard E. Byrd and the Phantom of the Poles, and a work of fiction very popular with conspiracy theorists. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I think that was written by his son, was it not? Jack Fetter with the $5. Typical Flurf. I researched nothing. I'm not making any claims, but everything you said is wrong. Really great showing, bro. Awesome defensive flat. That's unfortunately they claim that they don't have a model. Icy Spin with the $5. Matthew Hakeem made serious implications about McToon or MC Toon and won't apologize for being a garbage human being. He's scared to step in the box, cries in chat. Yeah, I believe that. I had a pretty awkward showing with him a while ago. Wiz Nilly with the $2. This is a masterclass. Good show. I try to do my best. Chris, we only have a few super chats left, by the way, and then we'll move on to our next guest. Chris with the $5. I love that every flat Earth experiment I have seen that aims to prove the flat Earth theory ends up proving that we live on a sphere. That is what usually happens, yeah. Spine on the Spine with the $5. The ice shelf is where I keep my globe collection. That's funny. Tim Davidson with the $5. Thank you so much. What lives at 90° north and south is manic depressive and is attractive to the male and female of the species. A bipolar bear. That's funny. Rock Games with the $2. Can I come on VC? Got an interesting POV to share. Unfortunately, I'm only taking guests from TikTok right now because the YouTube link is broken. Fletcher with the $5. The videos from the Fram 2 mission show polar circumnavigation of the Earth. That's good to know. Let's pull up the Fram 2 mission. Oh, but that was a human spaceflight. They don't think that that's real. Dylan Bach with the $2. I think it's just people wanting to deny science. It is. Duke of Shaska with the €5 again. Is it okay to joke about people who can't pronounce R like Biggest Dickus from Life of Brian? If it's a real speech impediment, you probably shouldn't make fun of those people. It's kind of shitty. All right, let's bring up our next guest. Let's talk to Nathan. I don't know which Nathan this is, but let's talk to him. Nathan, how's it going?
Good, Blitz. I just want to come up quick, man, and just state a couple things. I'm not here to debate like a belief system because I know that, we do believe in different things, but I do want to at least, agree in the sense for at least pointing out that, as a believer in God myself, that I'll say it this way. No real biblical scholars teach and or believe that the earth is flat.
I agree.
So,
do you think that the earth is flat?
No. Not at all.
Well, thanks for being here, Nathan. Let's talk to Dirk Diggler. PhD Freeze in the guest box, by the way. We'll bring him up soon. Dirk Diggler, how's it going?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing all right. Dirk, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's round, but I'm a pilot, and that guy's points were just absolutely insufferable to listen to.
I appreciate that, but I do gotta let you go. Sorry, PhD Free. I clicked on Chunk Norris's name instead of yours. That's my bad. Chunk Norris, how's it going? Chunk Norris? Chunk Norris? Do you think he's here? All right, he's not here. Let's bring up Tom Tom. Pikachu?
Take me up.
Hey, Pikachu, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. Pikachu, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Oh, bro, it's flat as shit.
All right, why do you think so?
All right, so we all circle around the sun, correct?
You mean the Earth orbits the sun? Yeah.
Yeah, all planets circle the sun, correct?
Yeah, well, the planets in our solar system, yeah.
All right. If you take a really high-powered flashlight out to the woods and turn it on, what is anything in between two trees? What do you see?
I don't know what the question means.
All right,
between
so
two trees, you'd probably see other trees.
You would see light, correct?
Are you talking about like from somebody else, from somebody outside of the forest's perspective?
Yeah, your perspective. You're behind the flashlight, correct? So when you shine the flashlight, everything in front of that flashlight
is lit up. Sure.
Is lit up.
Sure.
So if we're a round sphere, why is it between Mars and Earth there's no light?
So there is light. That's how we can see things between Mars and Earth. But you can only see things if there's things to see, right?
So there's nothing else between Earth and Mars, is what you're saying.
There's some asteroids and stuff, but not much.
but you can't physically see them just by looking. You have to use a
you
microscope
could.
and dial in.
You would use a telescope, not a microscope. But
Or,
yeah, you
sorry,
would,
telescope.
They're small and very far away.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever looked at the time lapse of the sun over a 24-hour or over a 365 period?
You mean in Antarctica? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yep.
it?
Yeah. Why does it make a figure 8?
It doesn't. It goes around. We can pull one up if you want. I think
It makes a
I think
figure
Dave
8.
McKeegan. I think Dave McKeegan has one. 24-hour sun. Actually, let me. Oops. Oh, sorry. I guess I haven't pulled you up properly yet. I think I actually have. Wait, where's my? Oh, sorry. One sec. Just I gotta close out of a bunch of things.
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay, so there is a 24-hour time lapse. That's what I want. This is from Dave McKeegan. He was in Antarctica fairly recently, last year, around this time.
How far did he make it?
I don't know exactly where they were. So here's the 24 hours time lapse. You can just watch it. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit if that's okay.
No,
Just sort of-
it's good.
Yeah, there we go. I don't see a figure 8. It's just going around in a circle. It's bobbing up and down and going around in a circle.
Yeah. If you watch it over a time lapse, I forgot where I seen it. So, my apologies. I am driving. You can see clearly the sun makes a figure 8 shape.
So you're talking about the analemma, not a time lapse. You're talking about this.
Could be. It could be.
You're talking about like this thing, right? One sec, let me show you. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's not a time lapse. That's just that's the same photo. That's a photo taken of the sun at the same time each day of the year over the course of an entire year. By the way,
Okay.
Pikachu, can you pull over because you can't be on a TikTok live while driving?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so it's a safety thing, right? So
No,
look,
you're fine.
so if you can see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, how could it be that the Earth is flat?
So if you can see a 24-hour sun, it would just be a flat surface. It's the same way as you see the moon and the sun at the same time.
How are you able to see the sun for 24 hours straight on a flat Earth?
Because it just determines if it's going to be revolved.
But you can see it everywhere in Antarctica on a flat Earth for 24 hours.
I can see the moon during the day when the sun's up in Kentucky.
That
So
doesn't
if
seem
I'm on a
related. So look,
if I'm on a sphere and I'm on a circle, how is it that a sun can be on one side of a circle and the moon is on the other side of the circle or a sphere, and you can see them at the same time in relative space?
one sec. Let me see if I can pull something up really quick. Because I think maybe I'm just not. I think this was from Walter Bislin. Maybe it's just not clear, but maybe you're just not clear on what we're talking about.
And maybe
here,
I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
But so this is. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. So this is the standard flat Earth model that's used by most flat earthers. So you have the. I just want to only show the sun. Right. So you have the sun. See that? Let me make it a little bit bigger. I don't know why my control button isn't working. So you have the sun and you have the moon, and then as time passes, they go around, and and at different days of the year they go around, and so on. And so the point is if you're standing in Antarctica, like say, let's put the observer in Antarctica, which is like around the edge. How would you ever see? How would you ever see the sun for 24 hours if it's going all the way around?
But how? Okay,
Like when the
I
sun
see
is
that.
over here, how would you see the sun?
But how would you see the moon and the sun in the same space if you're on a sphere?
Sometimes
Is
the
it
moon and the sun aren't linked to each other. Sometimes the moon is out at the same time the sun is out.
That's weird if you're on a sphere because the moon
Why is
has
that
its
weird?
own orbit.
Yeah,
Because the sun has.
the moon
We all
orbits at a
have our
different
own
rate.
orbit.
The moon
So they
orbits
just-
at a different rate. So the moon orbits once every 28 days. So sometimes it will be at the Earth turns once a day. The moon orbits it's actually like 29 days or so, every 29 days. So sometimes the moon will be at the place in its orbit where the Earth is facing the sun. So you'll be able to see the sun and you'll also be able to see the moon.
Fair enough. I guess last question is if we're spinning at millions and millions of miles per hour, why don't we feel it?
We're not spinning at millions of miles per hour. We're rotating once a day.
How does the water stay on the Earth
We're not spinning very fast.
if we're round?
We're not spinning. There's gravity. Do you not think that gravity's real?
But I mean, if there's that much gravity, wouldn't we feel it?
We do feel it.
How do we feel it?
Have you ever been tired and then you struggle to you go to the gym, you have a hard workout, and then you struggle to lift a box when you get home?
Yeah, if I exude myself, I'm going to feel tired because I've burned through all my reserves.
Why is it that it's harder to lift heavy things than it is to lift light things?
Because things are heavy.
Yeah, why are things
It
heavy?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 100 pounds of feathers or 100 pounds of rocks. It's still 100 pounds.
Right, and that number of pounds, that's the gravitational force on it. That's your feeling when things want to fall, when things are heavy and it's hard to hold them up. What you're feeling is the gravitational force.
I find that kind of pseudo wrong for the simple fact is if it's yeah. So if gravity is holding water on a sphere, that would mean I'm not a strong person. I'll be the first to admit. I must be really super strong because I can handle gravity plus lift a 50-pound box. Mm-hmm. So the gravity to hold water in place should be 1,000 pounds or more.
So
times infinity.
The gravitational strength on something depends on how much of that something you have, right?
Well,
so if you only have a little bit of iron, the gravitational pull on it isn't very strong. If you have a lot of iron, the gravitational pull on it is a lot stronger. So if you have if you have an entire ocean's worth of water, the gravitational pull on it will be enormous. But if you only have a little feather, the gravitational pull on it is not enormous, so it's easy to lift up.
Exactly. So the Earth is 75.
I'm glad we agree that it makes sense.
Yeah. So the Earth is 75% water. Therefore, the gravity to hold that water in place is insane. The gravity would translate
to... The gravitational force on the water is quite high, yeah. The gravitational force on a water bottle is not, because the water bottle isn't that much water.
But the gravitational force would translate to any living creature around it.
No, the gravitational force acts on everything independently.
So it's
not the same gravitational force.
It's not the same gravitational force for me versus you?
No, unless we have the same amount of mass, which, I imagine we probably don't, because what are the odds of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 115 and skinny and railed. So
I'm 150. So yeah, so
the
gravitational
chubs.
force on me, well, I'm 6'2". So.
Oh God. Yeah, you're not chubs then. I take it back.
I'm sorry, I'm actually 7'8". But
hell yeah.
But the point is the gravitational force on me is bigger than the gravitational force on you.
Okay. Well,
because
maybe
I have more mass than you do.
Yeah. I find that it can go either way, right? Everybody's going to find the side that they want to lean toward, but I respect you and I appreciate you talking to me about it. So I will let you get to somebody that maybe you can make them think a little more for today.
Okay,
I appreciate you making me think.
Have a good one, Pikachu. Take care. Okay. Look, he said pseudo wrong, and so I'm happy. Tiffany, can everyone ask Globe Crusher to unblock me? Okay, Globe Crusher, can you unblock Tiffany? I guess. Mike Kasich with the $5. All conspiracy theories are the result of irrational hatred of government and by extension distrust of all authority figures. Most of them, yeah. Mike Kasich with the $5. They failed school, so they don't understand that the sun and moon are not perpetually on opposite sides of the earth. Here's the thing. At least in today's America, you don't have to fail school in order to never have learned that. Our educational system is so rough right now. Dylan with the $2. Can you explain how ships disappear hull first? Yeah, so you can think of like the curvature of the earth as like a thing that you can get behind, right? So if you're standing here, and the earth is curving away, something could be here, right? If it's tall enough, you could see it sticking out. But as it goes from here to here, the part that's going to disappear first, that's going to be blocked by my knuckle, that part's going to be the bottom part, because that's the part that, disappears first. And then as it goes further away, further and higher bits will be obstructed by the curvature. Jack Fetter with the $5. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. We accept your hypothesis, right? Mike again with the $5. Thank you so much, Mike. The earth spins half as fast as the hour hand on a clock. They don't understand. Yeah, that's the best analogy, right? It's so slow. Mike again with these school dropouts don't understand gravity equals heavy. Look, again, our schools, especially in certain parts of the country, are atrociously bad. So, in part, we should blame the school system. All right, let's bring up Mr. Bone Drone. What a good name. Mista, how's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. What shape do you think the Earth is, Mista?
Flat.
Okay, and why so?
Well, not necessarily flat. That's kind of a, I don't know. I mean, that's just what they call it. I mean, I just don't think it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and spinning around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. And I just don't understand where people, when you say weight or, weight, gravity, how does gravity discern how heavy something is?
Gravity is what causes a thing to be heavy.
Tell me that.
Gravity is what causes a thing to be heavy.
See, I just can't. That right there sounds like it's like you're believing in a magical belief of some kind.
How do you feel about magnets?
It doesn't make any sense, man. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And
how do you feel about magnets?
I love the debate.
Mista, how do you feel about? You've been you just asked me a question. I answered. Now I'm asking you a question, Mista. How do you feel about magnets?
Well, first of all, I want to make something clear. I love the way you debate.
I appreciate that. But can you answer my question, please?
You're very good at it. You're very good in all respect. Okay.
So, what do you think about magnets? Are magnets magic?
Well, no, magnets is I don't know what it is. To tell you the truth, it's hard to explain.
Well,
do you know what magnets are?
I do. I've made several videos. Yeah, I mean, okay. It might take a while, and I don't know which parts would be relevant for you.
We don't want to get that deep.
I've made several videos about it. So if you want, after the debate, if you want to go watch them, they're on my TikTok channel. Just search my name and then type in magnet or something like this. So
all right, we can move to something else.
The only reason I bring that up is because the same kinds of physics that describe how magnets work, it's very similar that describes how gravity works. It's just instead of having, electrically charged things moving around that causes the magnets to behave the way they do. For gravity, it's just a thing having mass causes the force. So it's, the actual kind of behavior is very similar. So if you're not troubled by magnets, you shouldn't be troubled by gravity.
I'm not necessarily troubled. I just don't, I don't see how gravity determines, say for instance, if you drop a bowling ball and a feather off a building, which one's going to hit the ground first?
Well, that's gravity and air drag. So there's two factors involved there.
Right. Well, say it's a calm, no wind.
Well, if there's air, then there's going to be drag, right?
Okay, so you're talking oxygen, basically.
If there's any air at all. So if you do this in a vacuum, in fact, there's a really famous video of this being done in a vacuum. You want to watch
I've
it?
seen that, and I think that's a bunch of load of, because how could they possibly suck all the air out of that big giant chamber like that? It just doesn't
they
look
didn't suck the air out.
possible.
I don't think you're talking about the one that I'm talking about.
Okay, go ahead. Which one are you
This is a
talking
pretty,
about?
this is a pretty famous one, actually.
Yeah, and it's got the has it got the dude with the kind of long hair?
No, you can't see the hair
No?
of the people in this one.
Okay. Oh, they're in
let
suits and stuff.
me show you.
Okay. Okay. Well, while you're pulling that up, what about how do planes?
So we have a hammer over here. We have a feather
I can't see.
over
I don't
here.
see anything.
Did you see those two things fall though?
No, I don't see anything.
You don't see two things fall?
No, it's a black screen.
TikTok, can you guys see this? Okay, so this is your TikTok's being broken. Anyway, this is an example of an astronaut dropping a hammer and a feather on the moon, and they hit the ground at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't even believe we went to the moon. I'm sorry.
That's kind of crazy,
you know
though,
what?
right?
And listen, I used to be a NASA freak, okay? Until I looked at the moon, the picture of the moon lander, supposed to be authentic, and Buzz Aldrin outside the moon lander working on it. And this other guy was a definite, he was a NASA fan, he said. And he got to pointing out that lunar lander, man, and I'm sorry, that's where I changed my whole belief system, went right then.
So what was wrong with the NASA land? What was wrong with the lunar lander?
Well, I looked it up. I went on the NASA's.
What'd you find that
website.
doesn't make sense to you?
Oh my God, dude, are you serious? Look at it.
Tell me.
Just take it. Just look at it off the NASA's
I'm looking
website.
at it. I'm looking at it right now. What about it?
Zoom in on it. Does that looks like everybody at NASA said, "Hey, y'all bring something from home and let's make a lunar lander." I mean, that just looks ridiculous.
So because it looks because there's a whole bunch of different parts. I mean, like here, let me pull it. Let me show everybody.
There's gaps all in the metal. The little boosters look like styrofoam cups turned upside down.
We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Where's the
it's gotta be.
what's the issue?
It's on NASA's website.
We're talking about this, right?
Oh, I can't see nothing. I don't know why that's not working.
Oh, okay. Well, this is what we're talking about. This is just a picture of the lunar lander.
Well, it shows Buzz Aldrin outside of it.
So this is a picture of it. This is a picture of it on the moon.
Yeah.
And, it looks fine to me.
Look, does it? Come on, dude. Please look at it closely. Zoom in on different
I'm
parts.
literally zoomed in on different parts. It's just
Okay,
mostly
now
covered in foil.
What's that? Yeah, what's that tube running down the middle of the ladder there? I mean, really? Why would they do that?
I don't see a tube running down the middle of a ladder.
Well, it's like connected to it or something.
So can you see what I'm talking about? Are you talking about? I don't know what.
I don't know why I can't see why. Or I don't know. Am I supposed to hit something? A different button on here? Different.
One sec. Just try turning on your camera and then try turning it off.
Oh, okay. And then turn it around.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't see. Okay. There we go.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I can see my toolbox.
Well, turn off your camera now.
Oh, okay.
So you have to select no or something like that.
Okay, I turned it off.
Can you see now?
Now it says using audio only.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. No, but anyway, so I mean, I'm trying to get.
It looks fun. Like, look, is there a specific criticism you have? Because this looks like exactly what I would expect a lunar lander to look like.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't see how that you're looking at the same picture then. Okay. You don't see looks like construction paper wrinkled up and stuff and just
No, I mean
paper.
what I see is I see mylar foil.
Okay, and that can go through the Van Allen belt.
Yeah, mylar foil. The Van Allen belt won't do anything to mylar foil. It's just foil. What would happen to
radiation?
it? What would radiation do to mylar? What would radiation do to mylar?
Okay, so why did NASA say they lost the technology? How do you do that?
Well, they didn't. They didn't lose the technology, right?
Okay, what happened?
Like all of the blueprints for all of the Apollo missions can be found online for free.
So how come so why haven't we been back?
Because it's expensive. Nobody wanted to go back after the 6th time we went.
Yeah, well, see, I just think all that
We went
was fake.
6
I'm
times.
sorry.
It was literally live broadcast. There's video evidence.
Yeah,
we brought back
that's another one.
rocks.
How did,
We
wait a
left
minute.
we left behind laser reflective mirrors. Like there's so much evidence for this. I don't need like. Have you looked into any of this?
Mirrors.
Yeah,
Okay,
we left
wait a
behind
minute.
mirrors that we can bounce lasers off of.
Well, I've never seen that happen.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you
yeah.
seen
This
it
is how we
personally?
figure out how far away the moon is.
Have you seen that personally?
Have I seen it personally?
You stood there and watched them shoot a laser and watch it come
That's
back.
not how it works. So you shoot a laser and then you have like because it's not very bright, right? You
Well, I
shoot a
understand
laser.
that, but have you done that? Have you seen that personally?
Look, so you shoot a laser and then you collect it with photon detectors, basically. And yes, I've seen
Okay.
this happen.
You've seen it personally?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you've got a great argument there. But I would like to see that myself. You know, just to
You can
say,
go to some like there's a few places in the country where you can see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, you
Because,
can Google.
how did they call Nixon? How did they get on a landline and talk to each other?
So Nixon was talking to Houston. Houston was connected via radio.
They was connecting them through
Yeah.
just what?
Through
Just
radio.
Like radio waves, radio transmission.
So Houston was talking to the moon via radio, and then Houston patched that through via landline to Nixon.
Okay, which could have all been staged, but anyway.
Well,
All
you
right.
asked the question, man. There
No,
are
I
answers to
understand that. I'm
literally
just
all
saying-
of these
I'm just saying
questions.
that's still not proof. I mean, we're talking about a
You
government
wouldn't accept
here.
any proof.
Oh, I'd love to see some valid proof. Wait a minute? How do planes not compensate for curvature of Earth? Where do they compensate? How do they do that?
They're always keeping their nose slightly above the artificial horizon, and if they do that while flying on around Earth, that will keep them
Oh, they
exactly aligned. The artificial horizon, it's like the name of a device in a cockpit.
Yeah, I know what it is. But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
so
yeah.
I mean,
think
why are we
artificial-
deflecting from the moon now? I mean, what do you make
Because
of the
you
fact
thought
that
you
there's
said
like hundreds of
artificial
pounds of moon
horizon,
rocks?
But you just answered yourself. Artificial horizon.
The artificial
It's
horizon is the
artificial.
name
It's
of a
not
device.
real. It's all
Wait
it's
a
all
minute, Mr. Bone,
perspective, buddy.
Mr. Bone, you know that the artificial horizon is the name of a device. It's not the horizon that they see. It's like an instrument.
About the little instrument on the
Right. So there is a real horizon. They just don't use that to fly because sometimes they can't see it because sometimes it's cloudy.
But you're saying they keep the nose up?
Yeah, in order to fly level, they have to point up like a 2 or 3 degrees. Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Do you think that the
If
plane just
the
goes
Earth
in the
is
direction
round-
that the nose is pointed?
Well, if the Earth is round, wouldn't they need to go down to keep
No, they just have to
going around?
they just have to make sure that their nose is always pointing 2 or 3 degrees above the horizon, and they will follow the curvature of the Earth.
How? Doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense.
The direction
to me.
the
Can you
nose is
explain it?
pointed in is not the direction that the plane is going in.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay. I'm very confused. How does
I mean,
that happen?
this shouldn't confuse you. Even if the Earth was flat, they would still be pointing their nose 2 or 3 degrees up.
Okay, but
They
if
don't.
you're pointing up,
That's how you
does
fly a
that-
plane. That's how you
how does
fly a
that
plane.
compensate- How does that compensate for curvature of Earth, though?
The direction that the nose is pointed in is not the direction that the plane goes in.
Okay. That's odd.
For example,
All right.
when you're landing, the nose is tilted up,
Yes. of
and
course.
yet you're going down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, in other words, gravity's kind of pulling you
Yes,
down.
that is one of the
I got you.
factors. There's also drag.
Okay.
There's a lot of factors.
That's good stuff, man. Hey, this is what debate's all about, and I appreciate it. But I'm still, and now I don't know, man. I'm still kind of, I don't know. I guess now you brought me back down to about 50-50.
All right, I'll take that as a win. Thank you for being here, mister.
All right, buddy. Later.
All right, let us read some super chats really quick. We have 7 Canuck bucks from Sandman. Thank you so much. If they were going to fake the lunar lander, why would it look fake? They would try to make it look real if they wanted people to believe it is real. That's a good point. Then we have from Mike with the $5. The lander didn't go through the atmosphere. It was inside the shuttle. The lander wasn't on a shuttle. Also, the Van Allen belt isn't in the atmosphere. Again from Mike Kasich. Thank you for the $5, Mike. If the Earth was flat, then an airplane flying due east on a single latitude line would have to keep turning left to stay on that line. That's they'd have to keep turning right. Oh no, sorry, due east. Yeah, they'd have to keep turning left. That's true. Chris with the $2. Planes don't fly, they fall gracefully. Well, they do fly. Mike Kasich, it's not a debate. He's teaching you. Well, yeah, sometimes you got to turn on teacher mode. Docs and Greenlight with the $5. The American flag on the moon now officially stands as a symbol of irony for the failure of education in this country. We were screwed, Doc. Witness it. Yeah, that's unfortunately true. All right, let's bring up PhD Free. Sorry, I misclicked. Free, I'm sorry. The Amazing Monkey. How's it going? Oh, that's a child. Oh no, I misclicked again. Louis, how's it going? Louis? 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 I know you're here. I could hear you. Oh, he left. All right, now we're actually going to bring up PhD Free. Oh no, somebody just joined the guest box and took his place in the click line. Black Jesus to Christ, how's it going?
Shalom, shalom. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Black Jesus,
So
what shape do you think the Earth is?
the Earth is flat
Okay, tell me why.
because I'm the one that designed it.
You're the one that designed it.
Yes, I'm the creator.
How do you feel about the fjords? Do you think that they were good design or bad design?
Well, for one, state why you think the Earth is round.
Wait, why didn't you answer my question?
Because I feel like you're trying to set me up for something.
No, I just wanted your opinion. Like, how do you feel about the fjords? Are they too smooth or not enough?
See, again, state why you think the world is round.
Wait, why can't you just answer the question, my guy? Like, why are you dodging so hard?
There's no dodging.
Then
What is
just
your
look,
sources?
I'm asking like a really simple question. I just want your opinion on the fjords.
But what?
Can you just give me your opinion, and then I'm happy to answer whatever question you have.
It's pretty shitty.
You don't like the fjords?
I don't.
A bummer. So of the fjords, which ones are your favorite, would you say?
Let's go to your question.
Wait a minute, but you have to have a favorite. I mean, you made them, right?
We'll go back to that.
Okay,
Just
I'm going to keep you on
answer the
this. I'm
question.
definitely going to ask you later what your
Yeah,
favorite fjord
yeah,
is.
All right, that's
All
fine.
right,
That's
cool,
fine.
cool.
But now, why do you think the world is round?
Oh, because we have photos.
What is your sources of those photos?
Japan, the United States, the European Union.
Does NASA have anything to do with that?
Some of them, sure. We have photos from NASA.
Well, do you know the Hebrew meaning of NASA?
Well, NASA's not a Hebrew word. It's an English acronym. It stands for the National
Correct.
Aeronautic and Space Association, I think.
But you can literally look up the meaning of NASA, the acronym, which means deceiver.
How do you
But
spell
it's
it?
in my word, in my Bible.
How do you spell it in Hebrew?
Just look up.
No, but how do you spell it? What are the Hebrew letters that spell NASA?
Look up the acronym of NASA
Well, I mean, I can. I'll just look up
and put it up.
NASA
and put it up on your
acronym.
screen.
Yeah,
put it up on your screen.
sure. We can do this. Yeah, here you go. See, NASA. NASA is an acronym for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. See? It's an acronym in English, not Hebrew.
Now look up the Hebrew meaning.
Oh, but it's an English acronym. I don't know what it would mean for it to have a Hebrew meaning. There's no Hebrew meaning for English letters, right? Because those aren't Hebrew.
If you are so sure, look it up.
Look up what? You have to tell me what the Hebrew letters are so I can look it up.
Just type in NASA.
Okay. I typed in NASA. It just took me to NASA's website.
What is the Hebrew meaning? So NSA.
But those aren't Hebrew letters. I don't understand. How is there a Hebrew meaning for NASA? Those aren't Hebrew letters.
Just look it up. This is
Well,
why you got to.
I don't understand the question.
What is the Hebrew meaning of the acronym NASA?
But NASA is an English acronym.
Look, I don't want to waste none of y'all time. Just look it up.
I'm happy to look up the meaning of something in Hebrew if you just tell me what the Hebrew letters are.
It's going to all pop up there for you.
Well, wait a minute. Do you not know what the Hebrew letters are?
These are the No, I'm just giving you.
Wait, you don't know
actions.
Hebrew? I thought that you were Black Jesus de Christ. You don't know Hebrew? I thought Jesus knew Hebrew.
Look up the meaning.
Wait a minute, hold on. Why should I? How do you know what it stands for if you don't speak Hebrew?
Look up the meaning of
Wait, no, hold on.
acronym
This is a
NASA.
problem, right? You're telling me that you know the meaning of something, but you don't know Hebrew. That's kind of weird.
It's fine. It's fine that you trying to discredit me, but
Well,
just
no, I mean,
look
but
it
like,
up.
don't you not
Put it
know?
up there
You
for
don't know
your
Hebrew. Isn't that
audience
kind
to
of
see.
weird?
Put it up there for your audience to see. What are you afraid of? If you so sure
Well,
about
I just don't
what
even
you
understand the
believe in,
question.
type
Like,
in
NASA
what
is
is
not
the.
Hebrew letters, so they don't mean anything in
Well,
Hebrew.
why won't you type it in?
What do you want me to type
Why
in? I
won't you
don't know what the
type it
Hebrew
in?
letters are to type in.
Just type in what is the meaning, the Hebrew meaning of the acronym NASA.
But
That's all
NASA,
you have to do.
look, if you want the Hebrew meaning of a word, you have to tell me how to spell the word, right?
We'll do that after.
Like, could you tell me what the, could you tell, just to elaborate on what I mean, can you tell me, what's a good example of a word? Can you tell me what there means?
Hold on.
Can you tell me what there means?
Stop running away, because this
No,
is
I'm trying to
your
make a
time.
point. I'm trying to make a point.
This is the end of your
Black Jesus.
charade. Just look it up.
Black
so
Jesus, I'm trying to make a
everybody can see.
point. Do you know what can you tell me what there means?
Make your point while you're typing it in. Go ahead and make your point.
Look, I don't
but
know
just
what to type in because in order to figure out what a word means, you have to know how to spell it. NASA's not in Hebrew, right?
Look.
Do you know that?
All you
Black
have
Jesus,
to
do you know that NASA's not in Hebrew? It's like the letter N-A-S-A are not.
Jesus is aware of that. Black Jesus is aware.
Okay,
But
Black
what you
Jesus.
need
So
to
if you
do-
know that it's not in Hebrew, what am I supposed to type in? What am I supposed to type in to get a Hebrew word? Like I can just go to Google Translate. How about that? How about we just go to Google Translate? We can just do Google Translate. We'll have it translate from Hebrew to English, and I'll just go pull up a Hebrew alphabet so I can copy and paste Hebrew letters. So what Hebrew letters should I punch in? Which Hebrew letters should I use? Probably the one that makes an N sound, so a nun maybe. Then we can punch in the one that makes an S sound. Maybe we can make like a samech. And then we could punch in the letter that makes a h sound, like so it's na, so it's n, s, h, something like that. Maybe a hey. We can just put that in at the end. Oh no, sorry, that's a chet, not a hey. There we go. So this word means try. Is that what you meant? Is that what you wanted to show me? Is that what we were? Because like that's like roughly how you would spell NASA, I guess. We could have it read it. Oh, that would be nase. So we want something else. We want, but see, it says NASA right here. It says NASA down here. So this must be right? See how it says NASA? And then over on the other side, it says the word try. So is that what you wanted to show me?
Go up to your top.
I'm trying to translate Hebrew right now. Was this what you wanted me to translate?
Go to your search bar. Go to your search bar. Type in what is the Hebrew meaning of the acronym NASA.
Okay, I'll just type that in directly. Yeah, okay.
Directly. That's all you gotta do.
Okay, great. I just typed it in
Now
directly
pull
for
it
you.
up.
Here you go. The English acronym NASA isn't a Hebrew word, but the similar sounding Hebrew word nasa means to lift, carry, or bear, as in lifting something up or bearing a burden, with no connection to deception, a common myth. The actual Hebrew word for to deceive is different, nasha. And the idea that NASA means deceive is a false claim often spread by conspiracy theorists. Black Jesus, is that what you're doing?
I'm perfectly fine with that, because that right there is a load of bull, but that's fine.
But
Just
the
know
word
NASA
NASA means to
deceiver.
lift. But it's not a Hebrew word, right? But there are similar words that sound like NASA in Hebrew. Nasa or naseh. These have different meanings. Nasha is a root word for deceive, but that nasha is not NASA. Now, you did promise, so I answered your question. You did promise to tell me, what is your favorite fjord?
Again,
hey, I answered your question. You promised that you would answer. You promised that we would get back to it.
Yeah, and
Are you lying to me, Black Jesus?
I'm telling you now. No.
Then tell me, what's your favorite fjord? I just want to know. Look, I care about your opinion.
I have no favorites.
You have no favorites? Okay, well, what was the first fjord you made?
How about you tell the audience?
Oh, I didn't make any of the fjords, so I can't tell them which was the first fjord that I made.
So how would you know if I'm telling the truth?
Oh, I know. I'm just asking you personally. Like I will believe you. I just want you to tell me which was the first one that you made.
So how would you know if it's the truth then?
Look, I trust you. You're Black Jesus. Why would I not trust you? I trust you. You'll tell me the truth. So which one was the first one you made?
So why was you hesitate? Why did it take you so long to type all of that? Just to simply type
I just didn't understand what you meant.
So sure.
I just didn't understand what you meant. Because it's a little bit confusing to ask what an English acronym is.
No, Satan is the author of confusion, not
well,
Black
no, I mean,
Jesus
but like
Christ.
you understand that you asked me to figure out what the Hebrew meaning was for an English acronym. And like an English acronym is not a Hebrew word, so it doesn't have a Hebrew meaning. But look, Black Jesus, I just want your look, you made the world, right? I just want to know, I'm curious, which fjord was made first?
Well, how about this? We'll go right back to debunking the fact that the earth, Mama Earth, is flat and it has my firmament
Wait,
above
Black
it.
Jesus, I just want to know which fjord was made first. Which one did you make first, Black Jesus?
Look,
it just sounds like you're dodging, and look, I know that you're not dodging. I know that you're a super honest interlocutor. But the fact that you're not answering makes it seem to other people that you are dodging, and I don't want you to come off that way.
But the truth of the matter is,
if you just answer, then we'll all know that you're an honest interlocutor.
But the truth of the matter is I'm not worried about none of them, because the conversations between me and you.
I know, but I don't want you to look bad, and I don't want you to look bad. Look,
I'm perfectly fine.
Look, you're Black Jesus. Other people need to be able to trust Black Jesus, and if you're looking bad, they're not going to trust you.
Look, if they don't trust Black Jesus, that's okay. I trust Black Jesus myself.
But
I
my
trust
guy,
myself.
like, I don't want you to look bad. I want you to look
I'm
glorious.
okay
And
with if
you're
with
gonna
looking
look
bad.
bad,
You
you're
gotta
gonna
look
drive
bad
people
in
away
order
from
to
you.
look
And
good.
don't you want to
I'm
bring
okay
people
with
into
that.
your gentle embrace, Black Jesus?
Oh yes, but here's the thing.
If you want to bring people into your gentle embrace, then like, how would looking bad help them?
Look, if they are truly meant for Black Jesus, they will understand that what in this old world, what looks bad actually is good, and what looks
But it
good is
just
actually
looks like you're
bad.
dodging. Do you want to be known as Black Jesus from the Detroit Dodgers? LA Dodgers? I don't know, I'm stealing from Ian now.
No,
Do you
just
drive
I
a
am.
Dodge Mustang, Black
No,
Jesus?
I am that I am. I actually used to own one, a red one, matter of fact. But
You would own a Dodge, huh? That checks out because you're dodging right now.
But no, let's go back to the flat Earth. Let's go back to that.
Look,
Let's go back.
you promised that you would answer my questions about fjords. You promised. Are you telling me that Black Jesus lies?
Yes, I did promise, and like I said,
Are you
Black
telling me that
Jesus
Black
told
Jesus
you-
lies?
No.
Well, but
Are
then
you
if you
trying to
promised,
put
then shouldn't you
words-
answer?
Why are you trying to put words in Black Jesus' mouth?
Look, I
Are
thought
you
that you
trying to be a
promised that you
false
would
witness?
answer my
Are
questions
you
about
trying
the
to be a
fjords.
false witness? Are you trying to be a false witness?
Wait, are you telling me that you didn't promise to tell me about
No,
the
no, no.
fjords? You didn't promise, is what you're telling me.
No. What Black Jesus told you is I would tell you which one is my favorite.
But you didn't tell
I
me.
say that I don't have a favorite?
But then
correct?
you didn't tell me which one was your favorite.
But I just told you I don't have a favorite.
But if you don't have a favorite, then how could you tell me which one was your favorite? I'm very confused, Black Jesus. I just want to know which fjord you made first. Like, I mean, look, I understand loving all the fjords equally because like the fjords are pure, the fjords are great, but like which one was first?
Look,
because usually the first fjord that you make is usually the one that gets the most love, and then by the time you have your third or fourth fjord, you know, you just stop caring.
Look, here's the thing. That question that you had, that you keep bringing up, I had already gave you my answer, and I stand on that same answer. I don't have a favorite.
Okay, you don't have a favorite, I agree, but which one was the first one you made?
Which one do you think was the first one that I made?
I don't know. I don't know what order they were made in.
So why are you so interested in them? What is your interest?
Because I think fjords are great, and I just want to know their history. I mean, you made them, so you should know which one was the first one, right?
Correct.
So which one was it? Which one was the first? I just got to know.
I would have to say the first one that was made. Let me go back
there.
I need to counsel with my Holy Spirit.
Okay. Is the Holy Spirit named Grok?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But in that time, let's go ahead and go. Till then, let's go back to the flat Earth.
Okay, so you promise that you'll tell me which fjord you made was first. Which fjord you made first. After we talk about the flat Earth, you promise?
No, we'll because there's a lot more that needs to get out before that right there.
I mean, I just don't know why you're evading this so much. Like, it's just weird.
Well,
like, it's just so evasive. Like,
no.
look, I could tell you, like, if I made the fjords, I could tell you which one I made first, but I didn't make the fjords, so I can't tell you that. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, he's consulting with his Holy Spirit council. Wait. Sorry, I'm laughing at what somebody wrote in the comments. Black Jesus, you there? You know, people in my comments are saying they're starting to lose faith because of the because they want to know which fjord was made first, and they just don't know.
That's fine. Look, that's fine. I'm not worried about them right at this
But they're
moment.
losing faith, Black Jesus.
No, what? Here's the thing. You still think that the Earth is round when my Earth is flat.
Yeah, and on the flat Earth, you made some fjords, and I want to know which one was made first.
Okay, we'll get to that question.
Promise?
After. Yes, promise.
Okay, you promise that you'll answer. Okay, great. We can talk about the flat Earth.
After we debunk you thinking that the world is round, okay?
Absolutely, Black Jesus. Let's do it. Pinky swear.
All right.
All right, Black Jesus. So we're going to debunk that the Earth is round. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So now, go ahead and pull up on your on my firmament, because I'm sure you should have that available.
What am I pulling up?
The firmament.
What? Should I Google something? Like,
just
do you want a picture?
Pull up Genesis. Pull up my book of Genesis.
Yeah, I'll pull up Genesis. One sec. Okay, here's Genesis.
All right.
Yeah, I put it in the original Hebrew so we don't screw around with translations. I hope that's okay. Yeah. So which verse would you like?
Let's go ahead down. And you know, it's crazy how all of a sudden you're an expert in Hebrew now.
Well, I mean, I'm not as much of an expert as you are, but I do know some Hebrew.
Oh, okay. So why did it take you so long to realize that NASA is a deceiver?
No, it's not. That's not what NASA means. The word you're looking for is nasha, which is a root. It's a Hebrew root. It's not like a word in itself.
No, standing on NASA, that NASA is deceiver.
No, it doesn't mean deceiver. We looked this up, remember? You were there.
No. See, there's
Black Jesus, I understand that you're like 2,000 years old, and so your memory might be failing, but we definitely looked this up.
Wait. NASA is deceiver in Hebrew. And
no, it's not. We just looked this up, didn't we?
The U.S. government and all of that U.S. the evil spirits in higher places. I know they did that for you.
Wait a minute, but I'm confused. Didn't we just look this up?
A little quick switch around.
Didn't we just look this up? Well, hold on. We'll pull up the translator again. I just got to double check. So we'll pull up the translator. We'll put in Nun Shin Aleph. How about that? For NASA. Actually, maybe we should use Samek. Sorry, my nose is a little runny. So here we have Nun Sin Aleph, NASA, right? And what is that? It means carried.
And oh yeah, as well.
So it doesn't mean deceiver.
Thank you, my Holy Spirit. Go ahead and actually pull up the NASA, pull up their logo. Put it up on your panel.
Here you go.
No, the other one.
Oh, but isn't this their logo?
Yes, but the other logo.
What other logo? This one?
With the forked tongue in it.
This one?
Yep. Right there.
What am I looking at?
Do you see that? Do you see that snake's tongue, that forked tongue right there? The red that's
No.
around the so-called sun?
It just it doesn't look like a tongue to me. It's not attached to anything.
Pull up the image of a snake's tongue
Mm-hmm.
and go back to that.
Not a snake's tongue plant. Here's a snake's tongue, an actual snake's tongue. Here we go.
Perfect. Now go back to the image you just had up.
This one?
Right there.
Yeah. What am I looking at?
Do you not see the snake's tongue? Go pull it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now go back.
Yeah.
Yep. Now do you see it?
No. I see a yellow ball. I see like a crisscross. I see a white circly thing, and I see another white ball.
Go back. Put the image on again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Switch it till you see it, because I know you see it. You just don't want to see it.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's like the black tip here.
Put a F1 in the comments if you see that snake's tongue.
So there's the black tip here, and there's nothing black in here except maybe
Put
this
a
background is what you're talking about.
Put a F1 in the comments if you see that.
So I see the black bit down here, and I see the black bit of the tongue here. Are you saying that the bottom half is the tongue?
No, that same red right there. You
so
see
the
it?
red here is
F1,
this
beloved,
red here?
F1. Yep.
But this red here is a thick bar,
right
and
there.
this
You
red
see-
is
go down.
like a
You see
like
the
a ribbon.
fork- You see the fork in the tongue. You
Right,
see
but that's
it
black.
Right there. You see that fork in that tongue. Yeah, you see it.
But that's black.
But you
and
see
that's
it.
and that's red. I'm a little confused, Black Jesus. I don't see it. Maybe you're seeing things. I mean, look, again, 2,000 years old. I can understand that your vision might be going.
See, look at it. Thank you, beloved. F1. Thank you. Look at that. Somebody saw it. Thank you.
Somebody did see it, I guess. Maybe
Yeah.
their vision's going
Come on
too.
now. No. Now,
Anyway, we were talking about Genesis, right?
look at that. F1. Look at that. Look at that. F1.
I see Fjord
Thank
one.
you, beloved.
I see
Thank you,
I see
beloved.
Fjord one.
No, come on now. They see. Look at that.
I see
F1. Look at that.
F2.
Whatever the devil intends for bad, God always
I
got
see
intended for
F11.
good. You saw F1. Look at
I
that.
do see one F1. I see F67. 67. I see
Now,
Fjord
hold
2.
on. Now look. Let me. God.
Black
God
Jesus.
is gonna show
Black
you-
Jesus. Does F1 stand for the first fjord?
Hold on, beloved. Hold on.
Wait a minute. So you wanted to read Genesis, right? I see F150. I see FU. Oh no. Oh no. Black Jesus, welcome back. Oh, he left. You know, oh wait, no, he's back. Welcome back. I can't hear you. Why are we being quiet? Oh, he's Googling. Baby's sleeping. Look, again, I understand. If you're like 2,000 years old, I can understand needing to take a nap every once in a while. Black Jesus, come back. Oh, he returned. Oh, thank Black Jesus. I can't hear you, Black Jesus. Your mic's muted.
Put Black Jesus the Christ on the big screen.
I
up on the
can't because I'm broadcasting from my computer. It doesn't really work.
All right. Well,
But look, you wanted to read about Genesis, right? So where in Genesis do you want to talk?
go ahead, beloved. You start reading.
Which part? Which verse do you want to start at?
Let's start at Genesis chapter 1, verse 1.
Okay, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. How about that? That was a terrible accent, but you know, we did our best.
We sure did. Keep continuing.
Which part do you want? Like, which part of that verse is like relevant? Like, you know, I'm not so good at Hebrew. Which part is like the what? Can you explain to me what that means?
All of Genesis, beloved.
You want me to read the whole book? It's a long book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you just gonna read Genesis chapter 1 and go all the way.
It's pretty long. What do you want me to read?
Just go to the last verse.
The last verse. I'm sorry, I can't read this. Vayar Elohim et hakol asher asa v'hine tov me'od v'hayi erev vayihi boker yom ha-shishi. That's the last verse. Sorry, my Hebrew is terrible. It's been a very long time.
Oh, that's pretty. That you just fine. Now.
So why did you want me to read the last verse?
Explain to the individuals who don't know what you just said.
Yeah, so I said, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day.
Now, God, looking at everything that I've made, judging what I have made, and going back to your question when I said that it was shit.
What was shit? Look, why'd you want me to read this?
It's finished.
Oh, okay, we're done? Okay, question. Which fjord did you make first?
The one that I made first.
Uh-huh. Which one did you make first? What's it called? Did you fall asleep on accident? Oh. Which one did you make first? Oh, we gotta be quiet. Baby Jesus is asleep. He's consulting with the Holy Spirit. It's okay. Black Jesus, come on back. Black Jesus, I miss you. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Just be patient. Just be patient.
But you said, you promised, you pinky swore.
Just be, I'm still here. Just be patient.
You gotta tell me which fjord you made first.
And you will getting that answer. Just
okay, soon? It's gonna be the Fjord F-150, isn't it? That's gotta be what it is. I think ChatGPT's most recent model takes a while in the thinking mode. He could also be asking Slur to Bart fast. That's a good point. The Fjord Taurus. We could also be the Fjord Taurus that he's making first. That he made first. Oh, I don't know. Henry Fjord? Yup. Fjord Prefect? These are all very good. Well, may as well read some super chats while he's Googling, huh? No, I shouldn't do that because this is going on YouTube. Wait, is he making the Blitz fjord right now? I'm gonna have a fjord made after me? Oh, I'm so lucky. This is the luckiest. I can't wait. I'm gonna have a fjord. It's gonna be great. Maybe he doesn't know what fjord means because he only speaks Hebrew or Aramaic. Maybe he needs to... Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. You know, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that at all. That's not okay. Somebody just said... Somebody just said, I can see why they crucified this guy the first time around. wait, is he trying to fjord focus? Oh, somebody's laughing really hard right now in their fjord F250. Black Jesus, where are you? You're back. You're still muted. Which fjord did you make first?
You gonna get your answers. Just hold on. My children, baby Jesus. Yeah, hold on.
Aren't we all your children?
Yes, but not the bad ones. I disown the bad ones.
I thought you loved all of us.
Well, remember, Satan. We get to that in a minute. Just wait. You can
give me the
ask.
answer. Just tell me the first one, and then you can go deal with your bad children.
Okay, that's your first question. That's number one.
I want to know which is the first one. Which is the first one that you made? Just tell me. I gotta know. This is so funny. All right, should we move on? I think that we should move on. All right, y'all. I don't think he knew what a fjord was. Which is why I think he struggled a bit. How many? Show of hands. How many of y'all think that he knew what a fjord was? Not everybody knows what a fjord is. That's true. You don't have to know what a fjord is, but if you made them, I feel like you should know them. All right, let's read some super chats. Oh, we have many. I am sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. Thank you guys so much, but we do have many, so let's get through them pretty quick. So we have $5 from Jack Fetter. I don't blame the education system primarily. Most FLERFs question authority and assume anything government is fake. That's not from school. That's true. That is from parents, oftentimes. Keith with the $5. Damn it! I need to find a favorite fjord now. I'll be spending the next few minutes looking at maps. There are so many beautiful fjords. I've been in a fjord. Mike with the $5. Black Israelite didn't know that Hebrew letters are different than English. Yep. Mike with the $2. AI overview. Look, we can use AI overviews. Look, okay, so if you want my actual take on it, AI overviews are fine for well-known things. If something is well-known, then it's fine because it's going to be attested to in many sources, and the AI overview will have access to those sources. It's only when you're talking about something that's either contentious or something that is, rather niche that you might not find anything on it. But things like, what a Hebrew word translates to, that's well known. That's in dictionaries. So you will find stuff like that's fine. Ben Smith with the £2, he means nasha. Nasa in Hebrew means to lift. Exactly. Jack Fetter with the $5. Blitz, next time someone says, I don't want to waste any more of your time, their correct response is click. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Tiffany Bernier with the $5. NASA will spend billions of dollars to pretend the Earth is flat for reasons, then leave a major clue in its name. Yeah. Mike Kasich with the $2. AI overview, the Hebrew word NASA means lift. Yeah. Mike Kasich, conspiracy logic. This word in a random language means something I don't like, therefore the Earth is flat. Yep. Tim David with the $2. Why not in Greek or Japanese or Cyrillic? Or because Hebrew is the language that Black Jesus doesn't speak. Soviet Sawara with the $5. The first photo of Earth taken from space by a human was in 1961, taken by Soviet cosmonaut German Titov on board Vostok 2. Pretty beautiful photo. Yeah, but it's not a complete photo, right? Mercia with the £5. It's so easy to see the curvature of the Earth. Just look at the moon anytime there's a total lunar eclipse. You'll see the shadow of the Earth's shape. That's true. It is true, but they don't think that eclipses are caused by the Earth's shadow, right? Nathan with the $10. Thank you so much, Nathan. That was effing delicious. That's funny. I mean, it was funny. I agree. Holy Gore with the $2. The fjords of Bruinen. Okay, if that's your favorite. Mike with the $2. Bro doesn't know what a fjord is. Virtuous Path with the $2. My favorite fjord is Hardanger. So I've only been to one fjord, and the fjord that I went to was the fjord that Tromsø is in. So I was in Tromsø a few years ago for work, and the fjord is just beautiful. Ray Theomo with the $5. Black Jesus doesn't know about fjords. He's always been a Chevy guy because it looks like a cross. It's funny. Mike again. Personally, Black Jesus is proof of my opinion we should ban teaching religion. Yeah, that's awkwardly. Awkward. Boogie with the $2. Unironically calling him Black Jesus kills me. It's very funny though, right? It's just funny. Dr. Fudge with the $2. I hope this super chat causes you to misclick more. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Let's bring up PhD free. Oh no, I misclicked. I clicked decline on accident. Wiz Nilly with the $2. Blitz, you left playback at 0.25x, noob. I did? Oops. Crustacean with the $2. Thank you. Sandman with the $2.79 Canuck bucks. Ford makes Mustang. Next time say Dodge Viper. Oh yeah, okay, that would have been good. Yeah, I don't know anything about cars or sports. Mike Kasich with the $5. What did Black Jesus do with Arabic Jesus? Where are you holding him? Well, Jesus wasn't Arabic. He was Judean, right? Mike Kasich again with the $2. Once you go Black Jesus, you never go back Jesus. You guys are funny today. Michael F. Solis with the $5. Detroit Dodgers and Dodge Mustang are both wrong. Hilarious that Blitz is a boy genius and doesn't know the simple things like sports teams. Love it. Yeah, look, I spent all my brain power doing something else. What does Dodge make? I don't know things. Chris Howelblah with the $5. I wasn't aware the Holy Spirit was ChatGPT. Powerful stuff. Yeah, true. True. Mike with the $2. He turns debates into wine. Man, y'all, Dodge Charger. There you go. Dodge Caravan. Yeah. Viper Challenger. I'll do Dodge Challenger. There you go. Docs and Greenlight with the $2. Consult the Holy Spirit. What strain is that? I don't know, man. Carissa sent 10 memberships. By the way, 10 memberships means that 10 new people get access to the emojis on YouTube, and they get access to my debate notes, which are very complete and very helpful for a lot of people. These are the debate notes. If you haven't seen them before, you have now. The debate notes have access to all of my notes for these debates. So consider, becoming a $5 a month member. Mike Kasich with the $5. Flurf means of the devil in Latin. Don't fact check me. Yeah, true. Tim with the $2. Blitz's trolling game is severely underrated. Look, you just got to keep the straight face. That's what you got to do. Sandman with the almost 3 Canuck bucks. The deceiver, yeah, putting things in plain sight. Yeah, why would they do that? Gloria with the $2. Black Jesus fine AF. Don't worry about NASA, BB. Look, that was a handsome man. Mike with the $5. This image reminds me of another thing. Therefore, the Earth is flat. Let's not make fun of accents here. Come on. Tim with the $2. Crack is whack, y'all. I don't think that he was on crack. He has kids. I think he's just a little bit delulu. Sandman with the 3 Canuck bucks. Hey Mike, don't make fun of AAV. Yeah, there you go. Don't do that. Sean Hawkins with the $5. The Hebrew for NASA is Minal Avironautica Vechachel Halumi. Okay. Jack Fetter, remember when you said you'd cut them off earlier? I did, but this was funny. Yeah, let's not do anti-blackness, y'all. Okay. I should have read it before I read it out loud. That was my bad. Grain with the $2 for the Fjord F-150. Icy Spin with the $2. So Args Bro or Jack Fetter will chirp at you. Oh, yeah, right. Jack Fetter with the, you don't want none of this home slice. What are we doing? Are you guys fighting in the super chats? I mean, I'll take it, right? Orion Cooper with the $2 for the Fjord Fiesta. That's funny. Y'all are funny today. Dr. Fudge with the $5. I think he cares you think that he I think he thinks you care that he's saying white Jesus is inaccurate, as if anyone who cares thinks that depiction is accurate. That was hard to read. Carissa with the 10 debunk super chats, or 10 Dr. Blitz debunks gift memberships again. Thank you guys. Thank you, Carissa. We have a few more to go over and then we'll be done. Then we'll bring up another guest. Raga with the 750 Icelandic kroner. I don't actually know what those are. I don't know what that converts to. That's about $6. I am Icelandic and we have nothing but fjords. Yeah, Norway has a lot of them too. Icy Spin with the $2. Jack pay to win chirper wouldn't be caught dead in a fjord. Mr. Pancake with the $10. Hi, I asked a couple streams ago if you were aware of Clint's Reptiles. He's a biologist YouTuber. He has a series about young Earth creationists. You should check him out if you have time. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time, but if I can find time, I'll do it. Absolutely. Jack Fetter again with the $2. Henry Fjord worked for NASA. True. Coco with the 10 Polish zloty. Couldn't flat disk still cast curve shadow? Yeah, but it wouldn't cast a curve shadow all the time, right? Raga with the 300 Icelandic krona again with the 300. Sorry for the misspellings, no worries. And then Mike with the $5. I wasn't making fun of his accent. I was making it sound like a dumb, uneducated, cartoonish person. I didn't notice an accent with Black Jesus. Yeah. So Mike, the only thing is when and look, I can understand that this is not coming from a bad place, but when the making fun of a stupid person sounds like AAVE, that's racist. And look, Mike, I'm not saying that you're like an intrinsically racist person or you're a bad person, but that's the kind of thing that is like that's what internal bias is, implicit bias. So, you know, just like think about it. Right. Okay. Let me drink some water really quick. Saint Deluded says, I think you missed my super chat a while back, but I asked you if you had read Anti-Intellectualism in American Life by Richard Hofstadter. I haven't read that. AAV is African American Vernacular English. That's what AAVE stands for. All right, y'all. So we finally have PhD free. Finally, he's the last person in the guest box. I'm sure he wants to come up. Oh no, I clicked decline instead of accept. Oh no. Oh no, my bad. I'm so sorry. My bad. Oh, and you know what? Look at the time. Look at the time. It looks like it's 11:30. Maybe we just don't have time for another guest. Oh no. I guess we'll just have to end the live here. Oh no, actually, maybe we do have time for another guest. You're right. We have about half an hour. Let's bring up another guest. Oh no, I misclicked. I meant to click on PhD free, but I accidentally clicked on Kendrick. Oh no, Kendrick, how's it going?
Hey man, so I knew that you were just about to leave, and I do want to say up front, I'm not like a flat earther. I genuinely just want to ask a question.
Sure.
Okay, so a while ago you made a video about a paper, and the paper was, it was about the simulation theory and how it's proven that we can't, like we don't have enough computational power to, like, to generate or simulate like the Planck constant. Yep. That was proven, but yeah. I don't really understand why it would assume that the previous universe or the simulating universe is just like ours.
So this is off topic, so I'm going to let you go, but I will answer your question. I'll answer your question, then let you go. So roughly, the idea is that the reason why anybody even takes the simulation hypothesis seriously is given the premise that it would be possible in our universe for us to simulate something like our universe. But because that's not possible, there's just no basis on which to think that we're in a simulation at all. If we're not part of a chain of simulations, there's no reason to think that we would be the probabilistic argument just fails. But I'm gonna let you go, Kendrick. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Of course. All right, let's talk to Socks. Socks, how's it going?
Hey, man. I have a science question. I apologize for not being a flat earther. It's relating to orbit.
Socks.
I apologize.
Socks.
I apologize.
I gotta let you go. I can only do one. Okay. I can only do one. All right, y'all. I think I'm actually going to end the live here because I have to go pick up my brother from the airport, my real human brother with his real human kidneys from the airport soonish anyway. So I'll just end the live a little bit early, and we will call it there. I will see you guys on Sunday, at least for the first half of Sunday, for the Unapologetic show. Yeah, I'll see you guys then. make sure to tune in. Oh, hold on. Before I go, don't go. Don't leave yet. I need to make sure that I didn't miss any super chats or things like that elsewhere. Any other cash apps? Okay. There is a Shay sent $20 for Do It for the Fjord. I appreciate that. And Furtive Pata sent $5 on Buy Me a Coffee. I don't know science, but I do know Hebrew. Black Jesus made me want to put my head in a wall. Yeah. Yup, that's a thing. Also, before we end the live, I should shout out the Discord. So we have a Discord server. It's discord.gg/Dr. Blitz. You should join if you're 18 plus. It's a cool place to be. And we have a great new admin who's been running the server in an excellent way. Her name is Lilith. She goes by Succubussy here, which is a great name, by the way. Yeah, I'll see you guys there. And make sure to go watch the latest video on YouTube. It is very funny. It's also psychotic. It's from yesterday, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's crazy. But anyway, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care, everybody.